Harvin, but the Gators almost didn't have him for this game. It was a scary scene as Harvin lay motionless on the field after a hard collision. He briefly lost feeling in his arms and his legs and was carted off the field. Fortunately, Harvin suffered just a bruise to the spinal cord. He is expected to play. But keep an eye on running back Deshaun Wynn and linebacker Earl Everett. Both barely practiced this week, but they will try and play. As for linebacker Brandon Seiler, he told me yesterday his knee is fine and he's good to go. Guys?
Thank you, Tracy. Gators won the toss. They have deferred the option to the second half, which means that Arkansas will get the ball. This game is being brought to you in high-definition television. Joey Eos, number 98, will kick off. He does not kick it very deep. 7 touchbacks on 50 kickoffs, and these guys return it deep.
Was practicing a lot of squib kicks in warm-ups, just kicking line drives, afraid of those two guys. And look at, they're on the 10-yard line. Jones and McFadden are lined up.
And both have kickoff returns for touchdowns this season, most recently Darren McFadden at Mississippi State. He booms this one, and he heads all the way. How about that?
Indoors.
Yeah.
Indoors. Think he's not juiced?
As are some of the fans. Eos, only his 8th touchback this season. And Casey Dick gets the starting lineup, starting job at quarterback. The lineups tonight presented by Dr. Pepper. Casey Dick, with what he told us, was the worst game of his career.
Yeah, it had to be a nightmare. Darren McFadden out through him.
Up front, Hugo, Parker, Luigs, Felton, and Tubbs. It is an outstanding offensive line. Marcus Monk, McFadden, Barrett Jackson opens at fullback. They hand it off on the right, sweep to the right. It was McFadden lined up wide left, gets perhaps a yard. Defensively, this is a superb defense against the run. Up front, McDonald, Cohen, Stephen Harris, Jarvis Moss. The linebackers, Crum, Seiler, and Earl Everett, who might be hobbled by an injury. The secondary, the All-American #1, Reggie Nelson. He has had a sensational season.
Here they come already with that package. Oh, another wrinkle. McFadden starts at quarterback and shifts out to wide receiver.
Way wide left. Casey Dick inside, #1. Damon Williams, the true freshman from Springdale, Arkansas. It will be 3rd down. There's a flag down on the far side of the field.
So they lined up in what Arkansas calls their wildcat formation with McFadden there, and he shifts way out to the outside. Casey Dick goes back. And there you see McFadden out a wide receiver.
On the defense. Defense got in the neutral zone before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Steve Shaw, our referee, indicating offside against Florida.
Ooh, those penalties for Florida.
Well, they average 8.5 penalties per game. Far and away the most penalized team in the Southeastern Conference. Here's McFadden in the wild card. Up the middle. Wild cat, not the wild card.
Yes. Well, he's a wild card, though. I will say that. You know, that's interesting. You can already see that game plan starting to come out. Houston Nutt told us we have to be able to run the ball between the tackles as you look at those yards in that wildcat formation, because he feels this Florida team, LSU's a good defense, but he felt this Florida team was faster than LSU and he needs to run it at them.
3rd and 3. Felix Jones, number 25, is in. Little confusion on the formation. Now Dick comes in motion, leaving Felix Jones in the quarterback at the wildcat formation.
Nothing.
No, nothing at all. So we talked about the Arkansas running ability against this Florida defense. Goes early to Florida.
Well, see, Florida knows that if they don't stop that wildcat formation, they don't have a chance. They wore pads and hit on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. And you look, Reggie Nelson right there. He is the guy that's going to be involved all day, but they didn't even get to him this time. Stopped up front.
Brandon James drifts back. He's late going back on 4th down. Jacob Skinner His net punting average is fine. He doesn't kick for a long distance, but, well, this one will be almost returnable. So Florida takes over. Well, we've grown used to this.
Wow.
I'm not used to this.
It's like body sculpting here, you know? I mean, you could draw this guy, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been effective.
It feels like Florida is real aggressive early in this football game. Even that punt return right there, how aggressive they fielded that punt.
First down 10. Good field position now for the Gators. Chris Leak in the shotgun. Runs the inside option. They get across the 45. It's Percy Harvin. Tracy reported the very scary injury last week, but we are told he is 100%. Offensively, it's Chris Leak. He has a chance to surpass Danny Werfel yards pass in a career tonight. Troutwine, Tart, Rissler, Miller, and Metter up front.
Drew Miller already down after the first play. You see him, number 67 right there.
Baker, Cornelius, and Caldwell, the wideouts. Deshaun Wynn is the running back. He's hobbled as well. And here is Drew Miller. He's been injured a couple of times this year.
Yeah, he has. And that offensive line is not very deep. It has been the same 5 starters all but one game this year. Tart missed one game, but Drew Miller, number 67, is the guy that's going to limp off. You can see him. He's right in the middle right there. He was the pulling guard, and he got fallen on from behind. That's what happens usually. Big Keith Jackson made the tackle, and they fell on from behind Drew Miller.
So Drew Miller, junior from Sarasota, Florida, played his high school ball alongside the starting center, Steve Rissler. And Ronnie Wilson, number 70, is in to take his place. Second down, 7. Keyston Moore is the running back. Number 33. Chris Leak rolling right. Drills it. Incomplete, intended for Cornelius Ingram. It'll be 3rd and 7. Defensively, for Reggie Herring, the coordinator, and the Razorbacks, Anderson, Mitchell, Keith Jackson Jr., Antoine Robinson. Elijah Voodoo is having an all-SEC year. Dacus and Hewitt, the others. Hewitt fighting an injury. Chris Houston is an outstanding corner.
Yes, he is. But Florida will try to throw the ball on corner number 3, 4, and 5. That's how many receivers you'll see all day.
Percy Harvin wide left against John Johnson. Leak, sacked. Randy Kelly, number 6.
How about that? Talk about aggressive. Arkansas gives you man-to-man in your face. Here we come, Florida. 6 men rushing against that empty. Got the fullback right here, but here they come. Run right through it inside, right over the substituted offensive guard where Drew Miller left. And boy, was that an impressive rush.
On 4th down, here's Eric Wilbur. He gets it away. Reggie Fish, number 7, is the deep back. Peyton Hillis, who is the normal punt returner, back in Fayetteville watching the game. The outstanding fullback with a thigh bruise, missing his 3rd consecutive game. Darren McFadden, the sophomore. He's from area code 501. He's on the field in a different area code when we come back. Regional coverage of the NFL on CBS tomorrow. Most of you will see the Jets Green Bay in the early game. 2 games late, Jacksonville at Miami, Houston at Oakland. It all begins with JV and the gang. The NFL today, tomorrow at noon Eastern time. We are the home of Super Bowl 41. I'm going to sound like a young Andy Rooney.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice? Did you ever notice? Nobody ever calls the Green Bay quarterback by just his last name. It's never Favre. It's Brett Favre. Brett Favre.
There you go. You know, Earl Everett looks healthy.
Robert Johnson's at quarterback. Robert Johnson is at quarterback. The reverse to McFadden. He's got some blocking help. And what a tackle. Reggie Nelson.
What a football player. I'll tell you, he just is a special football player. And he is going to be asked to track number 5 all day. He is the difference maker. I mean, he is the guy that makes plays from that safety position. He's right here this time, okay? McFadden comes around. Now watch him attack the play. He doesn't sit back. He runs past the blocker right in there and makes a dive, lays it out.
Well, this is rather mundane on 2nd and 7. They're in the eye. And they hand it off a straight little. How about that? Robert Johnson, who started against Southern Cal at quarterback, demoted, switched to wide receiver, is in at quarterback.
And caught a big pass against LSU in the game that Darren McFadden threw. But, you know, you're trying to keep this Florida defense off balance with a lot of different formations, sweeps. They know that this Florida defense is fast, so they're starting out the game by showing them a lot of different looks and trying to spread the defense out now. They couldn't run at them the first time.
3rd and 3, they hurry it up, a quick snap. Toss to McFadden, doesn't get it. 3 and out for the 2nd consecutive time. Jarvis Moss, number 94.
Yeah, nobody blocked Jarvis Moss. This had to be a busted assignment. You can't run the ball left and not block the defensive end. Look at that. Nobody even tried to block him. He comes out and makes the play. And Tony Joyner got rolled up that time. Strong safety. Rolled up from behind. 2 plays and 2 Gators rolled up from behind. Drew Miller on offense, and now Tony Joyner, the starting strong safety on defense. That was that quick snap that Arkansas likes to use in short yardage, and Florida was prepared.
Well, they're paying attention now. He's going to help him over on his back.
Yeah, I think he got rolled up from behind on that right ankle.
There's another view of it.
Yeah, see that? I mean, he got hit right there on the ankle, and that's Jarvis Moss had his big old rolling 260 pounds on that right ankle.
Well, it's not often you see a kick to the head become the secondary injury.
Boy, see that speed? Now, either LSU was a little bit off balance with that attack last week. They looked flat-footed to me. Florida doesn't look flat-footed.
No. No. Well, Reggie, I'm sorry, Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator, said the difference in the two defenses they'll face is speed.
Speed at defensive end. I think a little faster. I think the safety's a great alley. Called an alley player because you ask your free safety to come up both alleys, both sides.
Well, that's tough news. Tony Joyner, who was defensive player of the game in the first 2 games of the year. Junior from Haines City, Florida.
Yeah, and the third leading tackler on this football team, by the way.
Yes. So as he is assisted to the bench, 4th and 3, and Jacob Skinner. Here we go again. Brandon James returned 177 yards in the win over Western Carolina. He's had 2 for touchdowns called back because of injuries. He is dangerous. This is not a good punt. James lets it bounce. Picked up on one hop to the 33-yard line.
And that's a heads-up play because James wasn't sure whether his own player touched the ball or the Arkansas player, so he played it safe and scooped it up.
Reggie Nelson on Darren McFadden. We'll return in a moment. Gators played in the very first SEC championship game in '92. They lost that to Alabama. Arkansas and Florida got together in '95, as you saw. Drew Miller is back on the field, Gary.
That's good news for Florida. They haven't had any injuries there all year.
Latsko goes in motion. They hand it off. Keyston Moore, one-on-one with Randy Kelly. Caught from behind. Huge gaping hole on the right side.
That was what you call the isolation off tackle behind the fullback. This was a play that was run maybe in the 70s in the SEC. Florida dials it up against Arkansas. You can bet that Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator, and the Arkansas team was not ready for that play.
28-yard gain, longest of the year for Keyston Moore. Percy Harvin is in the backfield, number 8. Behind Chris Leak, 4 men wide. 3 near side, 1 top of the screen. Option, Harvin gets the pitch, Leak pays the price. Harvin with great speed, forced out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Picked up 9.
See, that made it a little bit too easy. Believe me, I ran the option in college. I did not want to keep the ball. Thank you, I want to pitch it. Antoine Robinson comes, thank you, I don't want it anyway. I'll pitch it every time. Robinson needs to play it slower and make Chris Leak make a decision slower.
You know, people do forget that you were a wishbone quarterback.
Yeah.
How many wishbone quarterbacks had multi-year careers in the NFL?
I don't know.
You're one. That's a first down and 10. Leak has it. From the backside, watch out. He goes for Ingram and overthrows him. Fortunately, because Randy Kelly and Matero Richardson were both back there.
Well, the Florida coaches have challenged the Florida receivers. They said, listen, there's nothing shaky here, no surprises, no smoke. Arkansas has challenged you. They're going to get in your face. They're going to play man-to-man. And by the way, receivers, we didn't recruit you to Florida and not be able to beat man-to-man. You could go to, with all due respect, you could go to Central Florida if you can't beat man-to-man. Florida, we expect you to beat man-to-man.
You see Tony Joyner being helped into the locker room. Second down and 10. Leak again under center. They run the option. He is caught and dropped. And for more on Tony Joyner, let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
Thanks, guys. A tough loss for this Florida defense so early. Tony Joyner, as you saw, is taken into the locker room for x-rays on his right ankle. It does not look like he will return. He could not put any weight on that leg. As for Andre Caldwell, the wide receiver for Florida, he has a left ankle injury. They took him into the locker room, back out. He's going to try and give it a go. Back to you guys.
Man, oh man.
How about that? Quickly. And Drew Miller was hurt. He's back out there. It's a loss of 3 on the last play, 3rd and 13. Ernest Mitchell got the tackle on the last one. Number 90.
Remember they blitzed last time on 3rd and long.
Delayed blitz this time. Leak will take off and run. Oh, and not terribly aggressive at the end of the run.
Hey, guess what time it is?
It's
field goal time.
Oh, boy. And Chris Leak not lowering the shoulder. Chris Hetland is, look at the end.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't going to make it. He tried to slow down, and he obviously didn't. Now, this is an obvious field goal situation, but when you're 3 for 12, Urban Meyer is going to figure out what to do. Boy, you talk about a slap in the face.
There's a flag.
Florida, that's their first warning.
Sideline warning. Well, you
Florida.
know, he said, he was quoted earlier in the week, they've had so many problems.
You got to go field
with
goal
Chris
here, man.
Hetland.
You got to go field goal, don't you?
I think so, and they're going to bring Hetland out.
Why not? It's his birthday. If he can't make a field goal on his birthday, why do it? I talked to him yesterday. My advice to him was, aim small, miss small. Pick out something in the horizon, kick it to some guy.
Well, they've had sports psychologists by his side, in his face. This one will be 33 yards. And now a delay of some sort. Well, resetting the clock. Last thing he needs is more time to think about it. He was 13 of 16 a year ago, and this season has been inexplicable for him. He got it. Good for him.
Happy birthday.
You don't normally see that kind of celebration for a 33-yard field goal. But the sense of relief, Gary, must be overwhelming.
I asked him, what's it like? He said, I know everybody hates me, and I'm just going to concentrate on my job and let her fly. And he did.
3-0 Gators. And now it's time for our Home Depot Tools for Success.
Well, you know, Vern, if you got a toolbox, every toolbox got to have a saw. I mean, as much as you want to avoid using the saw, if you're going to do stuff, you got to use the saw. He's the saw. I mean, you know, if you're going to make something, you got to cut wood. And the field goal kicker is the saw.
You know, Your imagination is limitless.
You got to use the saw. You can't avoid cutting wood.
I don't think I have ever seen the kind of enjoyment over a small field goal. Not so small.
No, never.
In Chris Hetland's world.
Best birthday he's ever had.
Oh, boy.
Best birthday gifts he's going to get, too. He ain't going to get a gift better than that.
Joey Eos will kick off, but you made the point, Gary, during the commercial, big stop for Arkansas.
Absolutely. I think Arkansas is happy about that stop.
Here is the kick. Felix Jones out to the 30-yard line. Find the perfect gift for the sports fan on your list at the CBS Sports Store this weekend only. Purchase an NFL jersey and save 25% off the regular price. For details, click on shop at cbssportsline.com. Casey Dick back in at quarterback. Sophomore from Allen, Texas.
Boy, oh boy.
Felix Jones. Well, we talked about this Florida defense against the run. That was Joe Cohen against this magnificent Arkansas running attack.
Yeah, I think that Florida is so committed to the run that they're juiced early in this game. They're ready for this run early. I think that Arkansas is going to have to continue to just be patient. Of course they're not going to abandon it. But usually this is what happens early in games. A defense is psyched up. They stop you early. Just be patient. You can run the ball. You can run the ball.
You see they have yet to pass, and they will not on this down. McFadden rolls over the right side. Biggest gain of the early going. That's a pickup of 12.
Houston Nutt, and I think his quote is excellent. And this is what he told his team. Yeah, Florida's a good defense. Look at them. They're stacked up there. They got 8 guys up there. But you know what? Everybody's got 8 guys up against us all year, and we've blocked everybody. There's no reason we can't block Florida, and we got the best running back. Seiler doesn't even get blocked on that play, number 40, and McFadden runs right by him.
First down and 10. First down for the Razorbacks. Wes Murphy, the tight end, sets up on the left side. They'll keep it on the ground. McFadden. Oh, my gosh, what a nice change of direction.
See, that was the zone right there. And you do not understand how good a cut this was by McFadden. This looked like it was going outside all the way, and he just sees it. Watch all these guys, these offensive linemen, go to their left, and he reads it and cuts back. Bang. And now he accelerates through the hole, runs through those little arm tackles, and he's into the secondary before you know it. If you can run the ball, you can run the ball.
9 consecutive runs now for the Razorbacks. They'll keep it on the ground. McFadden doesn't get the stiff arm. It was Dorian Monroe, the freshman, number 34, on in place of Tony Joyner, who made that stop. Well, the highest number of consecutive runs this season, 16 for the Razorbacks. And they're in a passing circumstance here. We've yet to see Casey Dick throw the ball.
And we have not seen him throw to Monk, but you know what? We haven't seen Monk in the game much.
Right.
He's not out there.
Marcus Monk, by far the leading receiver for this team. And he's not there now. They're in the eye. That's Murphy in motion. Felix Jones cuts back. Not very far. Stephen Harris, number 93.
Well, Arkansas is saying you don't have Marcus Thomas, arguably Florida's best defensive tackle. Felix Jones goes in there. He's a good running back. But Stephen Harris, one of those substitutes inside, says, I'm coming right off that block, defeated the guy in front of him, and makes a great tackle.
Marcus Monk is on the field, top of the screen. They're going to come up and play press coverage on him.
Yeah, but they got 2 safeties back. They got help back there.
They sure do. Here's Dick. Across the middle. Caught! This is Ben Cleveland, the tight end. A fellow freshman out of Springdale High School.
See, this is a called gimmick play. Called gimmick play. They see the 2 deep safeties. This was probably a check. The safeties are wide. The tight end right here, okay? You're going to see it. He's going to go out and then into that middle. Watch this. come out, delay, and go right in the middle. Seiler almost gets the play on it, but that's a gimmick play, tight end delay.
Here's the Wildcat. McFadden keeps it and cut down near the line of scrimmage. Brandon Seiler, number 40, junior from Orlando, Florida. Seiler, who was injured about 3 weeks ago and handicapped, knee sprain.
Well, this is the area of the field that Arkansas likes to go a little play action pass and hold number 1, the free safety, who wants to make tackles, and then throw the ball deep to Monk. They love to throw that lob pass to Monk. Can they hold Reggie Nelson? We've seen him abuse anybody in the middle of the field.
You know, they want to have a chat. A 3-0 Florida lead on a 33-yard field goal by Chris Hetland. This has been the best drive put together by Houston Nutt's team and led as expected by Darren McFadden. Second down when we return. All right, Dr. Danielson, I need your attention here. Tuesday on CBS, heat up your holiday season with the world's most beautiful women and a superstar performance from Justin Timberlake. The hottest night on television, the Victoria's Secret fashion show, Tuesday, 10, 9 Central on CBS. You may defer.
Snap, it's football time.
Casey Dick got a man wide open on the left flat. It's Damon Williams, another of the Springdale connection. So Cleveland and Williams, who played for Gus Malzahn along with Mitch Mustaine last year when they went 14-0.
How about this? Florida gets their field goal kicker to kick a field goal, and Arkansas gets their quarterback to complete a pass. I think both teams are pretty happy at the start of this football game. Very simple. Had to be a bust right there. That's too simple. A guy wide open in the secondary, and that's even easy for a struggling quarterback to hit.
Mitch Petrus is the fullback. Again, Peyton Hillis did not make the trip. So he leads the play to the right side. McFadden follows him, and again, inside play very nicely performed.
Yeah, flag on the field, though.
Yep, far side. Again, Steve Shaw is our referee tonight. That will cost the Razorbacks 5.
Casey Dick, who lived through a nightmare last week, against LSU, is coming out quickly.
Illegal formation, 6 men on the line of scrimmage on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
First penalty of the evening against Houston Nutt's team.
Well, there's Monk going out to the left side with Reggie Lewis covering him. 5'8" at the most against 6'6". He's not even in the picture.
McFadden, play fake. Casey Dick in the corner. One-on-one battle incomplete.
Yeah, that's where they went with it, didn't they?
Yes, indeed.
The ball,
Reggie Lewis, who's listed at 5'10".
Yeah, right. And I'm 6'9". One-on-one coverage. The ball was a little late, to tell you the truth, and didn't allow Monk to have an opportunity. Look at the respect. Reggie Lewis, inside technique. Ball right now. Now it's late, and Lewis has enough time to get back there and whack that ball away. Casey Dick would like to have that one over. Oh, this time Reggie Nelson, number 1, is going to help. He's outside the picture, but it's going to help over the top.
Second down, 15. Draw play, McFadden. Not much.
You know, the story of the game so far for me is that defensive line for Florida is not being defeated. I mean, they're getting some runs on them, but that dominating front line of Arkansas that has kind of muscled everybody this year has not been able to muscle Charlie Strong's defensive line, and that's good news. Guys like Jarvis Moss is hanging in there.
3rd and 13. Derek Harvey, pass rushing specialist at left end. Now more shifting as Felix Jones comes near side, and Casey Dick 5 yards back. Under some pressure, throws it away. Or I don't know if he was throwing it away. He just was so heavily pressured by Derek Harvey.
I think that was he tried to throw it away, and Reggie Nelson almost caught up to that thing, didn't he?
Yes.
A sack would have been disastrous, though, for Casey Dick, so he did the right thing in throwing it away. Might not have read it right. You see Gus Malzahn right there trying to ask him, why did you do that? But at least he didn't take a big sack.
That brings on Jeremy Davis. He's had an average year, 6 of 11. His long is 44. This will be a 40-yard field goal attempt. If good, we're tied. Had an extra point blocked a couple of weeks ago. This one has plenty of distance, but it is wide right.
You know why? It's not his birthday. It's not his birthday, is it? Game's on the wrong day. Pushed to the right all the way. Got it up, got it high, but he got it about 3 feet to the right of the field goal.
Yeah, Jeremy Davis grabbed the job after Stephen Arnold lost it in the loss to USC, but he misfires on this one. We've reached the end of one. It's 3-0. We'll return to the Georgia Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
Tell 'em, 'cause when my crew ride up, what? The sky gon' light up.
We welcome you back to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, the start of quarter number 2. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. A 3-0 Florida lead after the missed field goal by Jeremy Davis. And Chris Leak and the Gators have it first down and 10 from the 23. Florida ranked number 4 in the BCS standings. Leak got a man open. Incomplete.
Well, you got to catch that one, don't you? Percy Harvin beat the jam, but then he stumbled. And I think when he stumbled, he really never focused. I'm trying to help you, Percy, the best I can. I'm trying to help him, aren't I, Vern?
You are.
You know, I mean, you got to catch it. I think the ball was on the way, surprised him a little, and he dropped it.
Darius Vanette was covering, but got a step behind. So Harvin with the drop, it's second down and 10.
Look at that, man-to-man, right across the board. No tricks at all.
Leak inside
Yep.
to the 35. That's a first down to Cornelius Ingram, the tight end. Well, the current BCS standings, gee, have we talked about this at all this year? Ohio State will be in the BCS championship game. Southern Cal playing right now, Michigan and Florida. Give me your best case for Florida. How can they possibly do it?
The best case is for USC to lose,
right.
Obviously. I mean, they played a tough schedule, maybe the toughest in the country. I'd argue that way, and I think they should play for the championship if USC loses. But, you know, there's opinions all over the place. Opinions are easy.
I've heard that, and I've heard the metaphor carried out even further. First down and 10.
You know, if I'm Florida, I'll worry about that later. Right now, I'm worried. Instead of BCS, I'm worried about ARK.
Right.
Because Arkansas is a real tough football team, and the longer they stay in the game, they're going to gain confidence. They've had bad memories here, playing in here. If they keep it close, they're going to say, we can play with them. We can play with them. Florida can throw the ball. They know that. They're going to get guys open. Will they attack with that passing game?
Well, we shall see as they lead 3-0 count. Injured player, Randy Kelly. And it'll be second down. Randy Kelly, who played junior college ball at Coffeyville, where he was a teammate of Reggie Nelson, the All-American safety.
Missed alignment. Arkansas is going to have to call timeout. They did. Had one defender to the top of the field and 2 receivers. That's not a good matchup.
I can even figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know if they had enough guys on the field. They only had 10. It's a good timeout.
Opening minute, second quarter from the Georgia Dome. 3-0 Gators. Wednesday on CBS, comedy is king when the King of Queens returns with a special 1-hour season premiere. Wednesday at 7 Central on CBS. Randy Kelly back on the field, one of the safeties for Arkansas, out of the timeout, second down. This is Percy Harvin in the slot to the right. He's being trailed by Darius Bennett. Gets the ball, comes back to the right. Watch out. Oh, he's a load when he gets around the corner.
That was a design play. This wasn't a retreat or a broken field. This was a design play. If you want to know the Florida offense, follow number 42. The fullback, Billy Latsko, is the guy that was leading the play. And look at Percy Harvin get outside. Nice little change up on that running attack from Percy Harvin. Had a good game, obviously, before he got hurt against Florida State. Rushed for 86 yards in that game before he was injured.
And a first down on that play by Harvin. Here's following Latsko again. And Keyston Moore. Deshaun Wynn has not been on the field, had the shoulder injury last week, and Urban Meyer said yesterday, I just don't think we're going to have him.
You know, Jamal Anderson, number 92, the #1 sack leader in the Southeastern Conference. Watch him play the run. Takes on Latsko, then takes on the running back. I mean, you don't think scouts don't see that? 11 sacks, and then he takes on the run like that? That is impressive.
Former basketball player in high school at Parkview in Little Rock. Second down. Percy Harvin back on the field. Here's Leak. Oh boy, bobbled by Harvin. So had one dropped earlier, this time can't hold on again. That's 2.
That was a double pick play that time. 2 receivers from Florida were picking for Harvin on the bottom. He's going to come underneath. He beats Bennett. He's got all the way. The ball's on him. It's his second drop of the game, obviously. Now that is very reminiscent of the play he got injured on against Florida State. The same type of catch when he got hit in the head.
Third down. Leak bobbles it, picks it up, and runs, caught from behind. That is the 7th fumble this year by Chris Leak. He got this one back. It took a bounce right back up into his hands. It will be 4th down.
Shotgun should be automatic. To look his eye off, didn't he? He looked for coverage right away, just took it for granted. And from behind, was it Ernest Mitchell, number 90, that got him from behind? I think Randy Kelly was going to get him anyway.
And so 4th down, Eric Wilbur on to punt. Has had 1 blocked this year. This one nice and high. And a fair catch taken at the 9-yard line by Reggie Fish, number 7. So Wilbur, a very effective punt, 33 yards, but inside the 10. 3-0 Gators on Chris Hetland's happy birthday.
Tim Brando in New York in a game that's impact could echo throughout the remainder of the postseason. John David Booty harassed by a smallish defense bringing pressure. He's 15 of 25, but right now it's 10-9 UCLA. Michigan and Florida, you're still in this puppy. Back to Vern and Gary.
Thanks, Tim. Yeah, the ramifications of a USC loss would be interesting, would they not? It's 3-0 here, Florida leading. Total yardage, not that much different, 76-62. Arkansas from its own 9, worst field position by either team in the game. Casey Dick fires it right side. That's Darren McFadden. And during the timeout, Gary mentioned the pick plays Florida was using. Here's the defensive coordinator.
He was there. He was working them. It's like a basketball coach. You know you're not going to get the last call, but you're looking for the next call. And Reggie is about as animated. Come on. We're trying to play man-to-man. You know what he said to us? If you can play man-to-man, why would you play anything else? I like that attitude.
Second down and short. They hand it off to Felix Jones. He's out to the 21-yard line. Oh, Reggie Herring in his second year as a defensive coordinator. We first ran into him this season at the Alabama game up in Fayetteville. He is a dynamo. I mean, he goes, he's animated, and then he says to us at the end of the conversation, I got 2 dogs. What kind of dogs do you have? He said, they're Shih Tzus, named Ruby and Champ, and he went and got pictures of them. They are the tiniest little things you can imagine.
I like his quote. I ain't into this bend but don't break stuff. I want to stop him.
First down and 10. Arkansas, they trail by 3. Draw play. Felix Jones out to the 25-yard line. The tackle made by Joe Cohen. Felix Jones, a sophomore from Tulsa, Oklahoma, needs 40 yards in this game to go over 1,000 for the season. And if he accomplishes that, it'll be the first time Arkansas has had 2 backs over 1,000 ever. And Darren McFadden over on the bench. Looks like they're paying a little attention to a cut on his right elbow.
It happened on that first down play when they threw the pass to him.
2nd and 6. Jones. Nope.
See, inside again. That time, I think Jarvis Moss, number 94, another pass rush specialist, came and kind of submarined inside and spilled it out. Watch him submarine inside. That's just kind of just runs right through it, causes enough problems, and then has the foresight to reach that paw up, doesn't give it up on the play.
Jarvis Moss from Denton, Texas, just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 3rd down and 8. Felix Jones still the running back. Casey Dick out of the shotgun. 3 of 5 in this game. Batted down. Stephen Harris. It'll be 4th down.
Well, this defense is just not a reputation defense. This is a real deal. They run, they hit, and they fill their lanes. They've been stopping the run against everybody all the way. We saw them against Tennessee, hold Tennessee to negative yards. I think they're the fastest defense in the country.
And particularly at the end position, don't you think?
Yes, and they're good up the middle, too, with the linebackers, Everett
right.
and Reggie Nelson, too. I really love those linebackers.
4th down, Jacob Skinner on to punt. Brandon James, good field position possibly here for Florida. He's at the 41. And they just do get the... Oh, it's blocked. It is blocked. That's the 5th blocked punt this year by Florida. Jared Faison, wide receiver, high school quarterback. Special teams stand out tonight.
This seemed to take forever to punt this ball. Florida's had 7 blocked kicks. This is the 5th punt, as Vern told you. They come right up the gut. Number 11 gets a little push. Nobody touches him. Takes it right off the foot. And you know, everybody thinks that blocked field goal was huge, South Carolina. Ooh, this is huge here.
Leak in the gun.
Arkansas takes another timeout. They're not lined up properly.
That's their final timeout of the first half. They have used all 3. And a very unsettling moment for Houston Nutt and the Arkansas Raiders. Interesting. He said to us on the phone earlier, all season long, our special teams have been great. They broke down last week in the loss to LSU. There's a breakdown here. Block punt, take another look. Jacob Skinner with a high-speed, slow-motion camera. Sounds like a paradox.
It sure does. Face him, when you go watch him practice, he is going to be a great one of these days.
Well, last Arkansas appearance here. On the first series, the 4th play of the game, they had a punt blocked. It turned everything around. This is their 4th series. Here's the handoff. It's Chris Leak. Touchdown! No hesitation there. Not for a moment.
As we said in the open, give me the ball, coach. I can win the football game. Urban Meyer said, I loved it. I've been waiting for it. I want my quarterback to be the guy that wants the ball. He let him run the ball.
First play after the block punt. Chris Hetland's extra point is up and through.
9-yard touchdown. Fake it. This is the Urban Meyer offense right here that he brought from Utah. The quarterback must be able to run the ball, and look at that. Take it into the end zone. Give me the ball, coach.
The senior who wants a defining game before he graduates with the TD. Where the score is 10-0 on Chris Leak's 9-yard scamper for the touchdown. And the Gators are roaring. If Gators can roar, they can chomp, I know that. Felix Jones and London Crawford are going to be the deep men now.
Yeah, you wonder if McFadden is still nicked a bit from that first pass he caught on the first down last series.
We saw him getting a tape job on his right elbow. So London Crawford, a freshman, is back with Felix Jones, and Joey Eos will kick off. Block punt by Faison. And a touchdown. This one's very, very short, taken at the 17. It's not the worst thing in the world. That might. You think that was by design? You saw him practice
probably.
Earlier.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's time now for the playbook presented by the Hartford and the Gary.
Well, we talked about Chris Leak, but really the point of attack, Drew Miller right there and Carlton Meta right there, the right guard, right tackle. Watch the blocks they get. You cannot run the ball unless you get blocks. Look at those 2 blocks. And then at the end of the play, the quarterback has to get into the end zone. He does a beautiful job of using that stiff arm against Randy Kelly. Watch this. Kelly comes up at 9-yard line, make the tackle for no play. The stiff arm gets it in there.
Arkansas with the first down. McFadden is on the field. And after the 28-yard line. Tackle made by Derek Harvey, number 91. And let's get an update on Darren McFadden. Here's Tracy.
Thanks, guys. You see McFadden out there with his elbow taped up, but it's actually his right ankle that he tweaked. He was walking the sideline since. He went to sit down with the offense, and running backs coach Denny Nutt told him, get back up and keep walking. Definitely something to keep your eye on.
Sure is. 2nd down and 8. McFadden with 2 yards on the last carry. 11 carries, but only 33 yards so far. Play fake. Dick. Left side. Tipped. That's the 2nd pass he's had tipped. This one by Jarvis Moss, the rangy defensive end. 3rd and 8.
See, Arkansas is number 1 in the country in not giving up sacks. Only 8 all year. They haven't played anybody like Florida. See, the reason they don't give up sacks is because they're able to run the ball.
Right.
Today they can't run the ball. They may give up some sacks if they have to throw it.
And here it would appear is a throwing circumstance.
They've got to be careful. They are not built for this 3rd and long, Arkansas.
Take the reverse, flip it out, dropped. Damon Williams, 4th down. So 3 and out after the touchdown. Reggie Nelson.
Yeah, see, when you're fast up the middle, you're looking like an NFL defense. That's what NFL defenses do. They have speed up the middle at linebacker and safety. Ooh, is that Ryan Smith?
It is. Ryan Smith at the 30-yard line.
They're all important players, but it was Ryan Smith's transfer to Florida from Utah that allowed Reggie Nelson to go from corner, where he can't make a lot of plays, back to free safety, where he has been the playmaker on this defense.
Ryan Smith was a starter in the undefeated year for Urban Meyer at Utah.
I watched the play. He followed the receiver across, and it looked like he tweaked his knee or on the play. Oh, he grabbed his hamstring, I think, when I was, and as the play happened.
Smith from Diamond Bar, California, took advantage of a just instituted rule in the NCAA that allows people to graduate if they have, to transfer if they have graduated. He graduated in 3 years.
When Damian Williams comes across on this screen, Ryan Smith comes up, makes the hit, and then he grabs his right hamstring. Watch him grab his right hamstring. Oh, yeah. Hits it, and just you could feel the tweak right at the end of the play.
And so he heads for the sideline. His father, Lance, a lieutenant in the Los Angeles Police Department. Ryan Smith already with his degree from Utah and in graduate school at Florida. Jacob Skinner had his punt effort blocked last time up. They're loading up the middle. Now James heads back.
Nobody out here with this guy.
Nice and high and fairly deep. Brandon James down to the 24-yard line. I knew it. I knew he'd make an appearance. Ducks here. Here's the trivia question. Other than Darren McFadden, who is the only SEC player to rush for 1,000 yards in his freshman and sophomore seasons?
Fadden's getting taped. Boy, Tracy right on that one, huh? Is that a trick question or something?
No.
It's not a trick
No,
question?
it's not.
Okay.
Certain names come to mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Me too. Here's Caldwell to the 30-yard line. I don't think we have to go back to 1911 for the answer, but we'll get it later on. Chris Leak, 4 of 8 for 26 yards. Tape job going on for the outstanding running back from Pulaski Oak Grove High School, North Little Rock. Grew up an Arkansas fan, always wanted to play there. Percy Harvin is behind Chris Leak. Second down. Option. Harvin gets a block on the corner. Close to a first down. Tim told us the last report we had was USC struggling. How about the schedule comparison?
Well, you know, everyone is anointed, obviously, USC because of their schedule. But let's take a look. I've ranked each team's loss at the top and then what I consider their best wins from top to the bottom. Most impressive, Cal and Tennessee, all the way to the bottom. You kind of freeze frame it if you got it at home. Fill out your own ballot, and I'll fill out mine in a couple plays.
All right, they're writing fast. Here's Leak, pumps, goes for Ingram, and a little mix-up, overthrown. All right, let's see how your ballot was filled out.
Well, here's what I did. I gave the best loss between the two to Florida and the best win to Florida. Now, they both played Arkansas. USC beat them at Arkansas. Give them the nod. LSU, the win over Notre Dame. You can see Nebraska over Cal. But look at the bottom. 5, 4, 3 pushes. I mean, it's not a landslide.
Right.
It's not a landslide,
well, it's
USC.
Florida. It's Florida, after all. It shouldn't be a landslide.
Exactly. There's hanging chads all over.
Inside option, Harvin. 9-yard gain. Kevin Woods with the tackle.
If you're going to attack Arkansas's defense, you must attack the ends. Double team them, swing around. Drew Miller gives them a little bunt. That's a perfect chip block, what they call a chip block by Drew Miller. You must handle the ends, and here comes 3rd and short. Who comes in, Vern?
That would mean Tebow.
We saw him make a difference against Tennessee. Florida would not have beat Tennessee without Tebow.
Sophomore from St. Augustine. 3rd and 1. He goes left. That's a little variation on a theme by Tebow.
Yep.
Most of his runs have been between the tackles. See if he stays in. Chris Leak still had the headset on.
When you're going to come and run up and make a tackle on Tim Tebow, there's going to be no sliding in Tebow style. Watch this. Bang, bang, and he doesn't even really slow down. That's a quarterback. And right now, Randy Kelly's saying, I prefer the stiff arm guy to the head-on guy.
Deshaun Wynn back in the backfield. So is Chris Leak. Rolls right, fires it out. Wide open is Cornelius Ingram. Ingram, the young man who came to Florida to play quarterback and is also a member of the basketball team his freshman year.
Here's the pick. Watch the pick come down right here, okay? Come in, come out, and don't put the camera on Reggie Herring because he is saying every word young kids shouldn't hear right now. There's the pick, and Reggie Herring's going crazy. He doesn't have any hair, but he'd be pulling it out if he had it right now.
I always thought pick plays were illegal.
Not if you don't get caught. It ain't illegal.
First down, 10-0. Let's go. Deshaun Wynn, hello. Ernest Mitchell, number 90. And let's go back to the studio for a Home Depot update. In our studios, here's Tim Brando.
Paging all Harris Interactive poll voters. Paging Patrick Cowan with the ball inside the 5. Does take a 9-yard loss. A key stop for SC. Justin Medlock from 31 yards. It's 13-9. Tick, 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 tick. Just over 7 minutes left in Pasadena. Oh, the times they are changing, Vern.
Oh, I like the tick, 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 tick.
I wonder if I have a Michigan-Florida ballot anywhere. Maybe I need that, too.
Oh, would there be a discussion about Michigan against Florida? Here's Leak, got a man open. Caught. Touchdown, Gators. Percy Harvin, 37 yards.
This is the nicest release I have seen all year. Percy Harvin beating the bump and run at the line of scrimmage.
That's Darius Vanette. Chris Hetland's extra point is good.
This is how you beat man-to-man. You defeat it at the line of scrimmage. This is a true freshman. Watch this move right here. Man-to-man coverage, beat him, go inside. Oh, I'm open, and I'm going to score a touchdown if Chris Leak puts it there, and that is a guy that's doing exactly the way he's taught, and Leak says, I love it. Man-to-man, give it to me all day.
And so Leak and the Gators are up by 17. Welcome back to Atlanta with that last 37-yard pass. Chris Leak surpassed Danny Werfel, the icon of Florida football, total yardage. Chris Leak's total now 10,895 to Werfel's 10,875.
That patience by Percy Harvin at the line of scrimmage is how you beat man-to-man. You don't beat it by outrunning it. You beat it at the line of scrimmage. That was perfect technique.
Joey Eos will kick off. Darren McFadden is not being used as a deep man. It's Felix Jones who grabs this one. Watch it. He is ever so dangerous. He has returned 2 kickoffs for 100 yards in each of the last 2 seasons. Well, last year, Craig Keller won $70,000 in the Dr. Pepper $1 Million Challenge with a throw that looked akin to a baseball reliever. But it got him $70,000. Another contestant will have a chance to win up to $1 million. It's the Dr. Pepper $1 Million Challenge coming up at halftime.
Florida, remember, has lost 2 secondary players, Ryan Smith and Tony Joyner. Keep an eye on Smith. He's back in the game with a tweaked hamstring.
McFadden goes in motion wide right, followed by Monroe defensively. And a flag is thrown. This is a pre-snap penalty.
For the snap, false start, number 66 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tony Hugo. Well, time now for the trivia question answer. We got a couple of others in here other than Darren McFadden, who was the only other SEC player to rush for 1,000 yards.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I thought it had to be a trick question.
Well, he's the only other one. I guess here's the point. Bo Jackson never did it.
Whoa.
First down and 15. Casey Dick. Whoops.
That's not even within 10 yards.
That looks like the Aflac Duck. And a flag is going to be thrown on Reggie Lewis.
Yeah, they called holding on Reggie Lewis. See, that's the question. Can Arkansas, with their, functional pass offense, take advantage of the nicks in the Florida secondary? Can they do it?
We raised Mitch Mustaine, the freshman, started 8 games and won 8.
Pass interference, number 22 on the defense. That penalty will be
Urban
enforced.
Meyer a little antagonistic
Automatic
about that play.
Yeah, and what he says is the ball was not catchable, but I think there was probably an interesting call. I didn't see much there. But look where the official was. Standing right in all that white on the Arkansas sideline, and you know every player and coach was in his ear yelling pass interference.
And so after the penalty, first down and 10 with 3:05 to go. McFadden goes right. By and large, Gary, he's been held in check tonight.
Yeah, but by the defense, the great defense of Florida. The ankle now that's been tweaked, and I think, to be truthful, a better game plan by Florida than LSU. I think Florida has decided that they are going to bring a man over in motion. When Arkansas puts a guy in motion, they're going to follow the motion guy, and they get one more guy in the box. That's helping Florida.
Second down and 1, 2:28 to go. Arkansas is out of timeouts. Left side. And that should be enough for the first down, so the clock will stop either for a measurement or the movement of the chains and then be restarted. And here it is with 2:15 to go. It's a first down.
And this is crucial for Arkansas. Remember, Florida gets the ball to start the third quarter. So they need not only to run clock here, they don't want to put Chris Leak back on the field, but they also got to get some points here.
And of course, new rules, timing rules this year. The clock starts when marked ready for play. McFadden in motion.
He's not 100%.
Nope. Marcus Monk, he's gotten the fan beat. Touchdown, Arkansas. There's a flag, but it's going to be on Reggie Lewis.
Yeah, he wasn't strong enough to pull him down. He tried to.
Steve Shaw with the call.
Pass interference, number 22 on the defense. That penalty will be declined. Touchdown.
I think Reggie Nelson lined up on the wrong side of the field. Look where Reggie Nelson is, and look where the one-on-one guy is. I wonder why he's not to this side. He goes to the wrong side. Look, it's one-on-one. Boy, Florida does not like one-on-one. 6'6" against 5'8". That is not a good matchup. No help at all.
Jeremy Davis with the extra point. Not the first time this year that Marcus Monk has caught a touchdown pass right before halftime.
That had to be done by Arkansas. They could not have turned it back to Florida. You see, a little stumble on the play, but the big guy, the touchdown maker for Arkansas, they got 1-2, keeps Arkansas in this football game.
10-point margin, 1:55 to go.
Well, one-on-one, we saw Percy Harvin do it. Now we're going to see the big guy, Big Monk, meet Reggie Lewis. You know, when you're 6'6", you don't have to get as open as when you're 5'8". Harvin did it one way, Monk did it a different way. You know, if you're going to face man-to-man, and that time Florida doesn't play a lot of man, you must throw the ball deep. I congratulate both sides for attacking that man-to-man coverage. When you get it, you have to attack it deep.
Marcus Monk, only a sophomore, his 24th career touchdown catch. Breaks the mark he had shared, or rather, he gets the mark with Anthony Lucas. Here's a short kickoff. And bounces once and picked up by Keyston Moore, number 33. Thursday on Survivor, with only 3 episodes left. Family members visit the island, but will they help or hurt the survivors? Plus, what may be the toughest challenge in Survivor history? You be the judge. Thursday on CBS.
Well, that's what I call this conference, the best conference in college football. You got to be a survivor to get through this conference.
The only defeat for Chris Leak and the Gators, it came 27-17, a deceptive score at Auburn. First down and 10. I say deceptive, the last touchdown scored in the last play of the game. Here's Cornelius Ingram. John Johnson hits him and drives him out of bounds. Florida now, Gary, with 1:28 to go, they have all 3 timeouts left.
And this is a kind of comfortable situation for Chris Leak. Remember, we saw those fourth quarter comebacks. He likes this. He's been doing it for 4 years, obviously.
And it's 2nd down and 8 here.
Look at all those receivers all over the field.
Arkansas brings 5. Leak with some pressure finds Dallas Baker. 1st down, and he stops the clock by running out of bounds. That's a gain of 17.
Well, that's the matchup. Reggie Herring assigned Chris Houston, number 2 on number 81. Best corner against best receiver. Comes inside, another beats the one-on-one. The Florida wide receivers are beating man coverage, and they're beating it with great releases off the line of scrimmage. Chris Houston.
Clock stops with 1:21 to go. Leak has hit his last 5 passes. Little underneath play to Andre Caldwell. Inside Arkansas territory to the 44. See if Florida decides to use one. Nope, they're going to.
Well, I'm surprised they're not taking a timeout.
Yeah,
I'll
me
tell
too.
you the truth.
So it's the hurry-up offense. Everybody up on the line.
Well, they got there pretty quick, didn't they?
And Leak will go for the 1st down on the quarterback sneak. That stops the clock momentarily with 51 seconds to go.
See, what they had right there was what you call like a Mayday play. Everybody, Mayday, Mayday. Everybody knows it's going to be a quarterback sneak. Get up on the line of scrimmage and make the 1st down.
Reggie Herring calling the defense for Arkansas.
Now you got plenty of time left.
And the clock starts on the ready for play motion. 1st down and 10. Keyston Moore is in the backfield, 4 wides. Umpire throws the flag, so this will be a pre-snap penalty. 38 seconds left.
For the snap, false start, number 67 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
See, why I thought a timeout should have been used there is that's gone from 51 seconds down to 38 seconds.
Right.
It could have been easily handled with a timeout and saved another 15 seconds.
1st and 15. Leak with a lot of time and throws that one at the feet of Keyston Moore, who had trouble getting out and then was well covered by Sam Olajubutu, number 24. Now 28 seconds to go.
You don't call Olajubutu's name much in a game like this against the spread, do you?
No.
I mean, he's a great between the tackle player. You know, he's made tackles his whole career, but against all these receivers, how does a linebacker make plays?
A leading tackler on the ball club with 105, and here he comes out. Olajubutu, who played not far from here, LaGrange, Georgia, actually played in the state semifinals on this field his senior year. 2nd and 15. Leak underneath, caught Dallas Baker to the 39-yard line.
Got to take a timeout. Yeah, you got to take a timeout. Dare I say they're in field goal range?
Chris Hetland's birthday. Well, let's see. If they're not yet. But he's getting ready just in case. Hetland has a field goal in this ball game. Arkansas defense getting ready to confront this Florida offense. Chris Leak and the gang look at 3rd down and 7. You see the struggles both teams have had with field goals this year. Arkansas brings 4. Leak caught and dropped back at the 45. Antoine Robinson, number 97. 10 seconds to go. I know you wonder why they didn't call the timeout when they had.
Well, yeah. Looking back, the strategy probably should have been timeout on that 2nd and short. But now, it's easy when you're up here. Everything's happening down there really quickly. I was kind of thinking as that pressure came to Chris Leak, could you throw it away and save the field position? He did the best he could, and Florida was forced to take one of their last 2 timeouts.
Ten seconds to go before the halftime break. 17-7 and a 4th down for the Florida Gators.
Two thoughts here. I know Urban Meyer's going through this. He's going, all right, I'm winning 17-7. Let's just, don't do anything stupid. Got a 17-7 lead. I don't want a disaster the last play of the half. On the other hand, why don't I just loft one up in the end zone? Maybe I get one of those jump balls and we catch the ball in the end zone. And if it doesn't hit, what does Arkansas have? What, 2 seconds left, 3 seconds left? That's what Urban Meyer makes, what, $8, $12, $15 million for?
And the decision is, let's throw one into the end zone.
Right.
I think it's probably a wise call. However, it will come back to the 45. Here's Leak. And he lobs that one incomplete, out of bounds. So the Razorbacks, with 3 seconds left, will have their own chance, and they do have this guy who's 6'6".
And remember, he caught a huge one. Right at the end of the half against South Carolina to change the whole look of that football game. Look how fast they're ready. Everybody knows the new rules.
3 seconds to go. There is the clock wound, and the snap is off in time. Casey Dick goes for all of it. There's Marcus Monk, Reggie Nelson. And Reggie Nelson wins this battle. Reggie Lewis was also there and got the interception. Let's go down to Tracy Wilson with Houston Nutt.
Coach, a late touchdown to cut their lead to 10. What more do you need to do to get back in this game?
Got to block a little bit better, hold our blocks a little bit. Matt got a little sprained ankle, see how he is. Keep playing hard, 30 more minutes. Gave up a couple of big plays, got to stop that.
Can you tell us at all how McFadden is doing with his ankle?
We'll know start of third quarter.
Thanks a lot, good luck. Back to you guys.
All right, Tracy. That is the end of the first half, with the Florida Gators leading by 10, 17-7. Coming up, it's the Dr. Pepper $1 Million Challenge. That's after these messages and a word from your local stations. About 2.5 minutes ago, this score was posted in the Georgia Dome, and the Florida Gator fans began to erupt because their team takes the field now knowing that they are playing for a shot in the national championship game against Ohio State. Well, Artie Johnson said on Laugh-In a generation ago, very interesting.
I've been saying since September, nobody can tell me who the two best teams are. Nobody knows. These teams are so even right now, and to anoint teams is impossible. You have to decide it on the field. It's the SEC championship right now. Florida better not take their eye off the ball because Arkansas is not going to back up.
And Arkansas got that touchdown to pull within 10. The game being brought to you on high-definition television. And you will recall that Florida won the toss and deferred the option to the second half. So they will receive the ball. Keyston Moore, Brandon James are the deep man. 17-7. Brian Vavra, number 52, who is a terrific kickoff man, will attempt to put this one into the end zone. No, he won't. He'll kick it very, very short, and a fair catch called and taken at the 31-yard line by Billy Latsko. Moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Florida head coach Urban Meyer.
Coach, are you aware that UCLA beat USC?
No, we have our hands full right here with a very talented Arkansas team.
There was no mention of that in the locker room.
No mention of that. We got a lot of work to do tonight.
Well, now that you know, will you coach any differently in the second half?
No, we gotta win the SEC championship. That's been our goal from day one, and we're gonna go after it as hard as we can here in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
I admire what he said. I don't believe a word of it about not knowing. First down and 10. Here's Chris Leak into the flat. Cornelius Ingram. Randy Kelly is there to meet him. There's a flag down as well. Well, the halftime numbers in this one, a 17-7 game.
And you can look at time of possession. That is an anomaly for the Razorbacks. They're one of the worst in the country in time of possession, but it's been the big plays by Florida. Harvin and You know, I think both teams, Vern, those big plays, one to Harbin and one to Marcus Monk, have given this team going into the second half some
That'll be a
hope.
5-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
Is this something? How about college football, huh?
Yeah, how about it? And so Urban Meyer said no. He did not talk with his team about the result. Actually, here in the Georgia Dome, in this age of instant communication, cell phones and television sets, the crowd, most of them knew about halfway through halftime. Leak intercepted, picked off by the Arkansas Razorbacks. Weston Dacus, the middle linebacker.
Hard to believe. Dacus takes a couple steps forward. Chris Leak thinks he's coming, and then he backs up. Watch the middle linebacker. Just a little move up. Watch him move up and then back. Chris Leak takes his eye off him. Comes up and then goes back. Chris Leak gave up on him, took his eye off of him, and that caused the interception. You throw the ball over the middle, you must account for those linebackers.
Dacus gets the first interception of the season. Here's the handoff. Darren McFadden, a little gimpy with an injured ankle. The tackle is made by Brandon Seiler. For those of you who joined us at halftime, Chris Hetland got a field goal for Florida to give them a 3-0 lead. Big play in the first half was a blocked punt.
Yep.
Jared Faison on Jacob Skinner. Then Chris Leak went 9 yards on a run. It was 10-0. They jumped out to a 17-0 lead until with a minute and a half to go in the halftime, Arkansas got a touchdown pass, Casey Dick to Marcus Monk. Felix Jones. Reggie Lewis will remember that hit.
Yeah. See, Felix Jones has to come through. Darren McFadden looks like he's 75% right now. Maybe as he gets it loosened up, it'll get better. But no running out of bounds for the championship. Going to run right over those corners. And even Reggie Nelson says, his guy ain't running out of bounds. Didn't he see all those films of me hitting those guys?
Darren McFadden, here's the Wildcat formation, first used this year against Ole Miss. Not terribly effective tonight until now. First down, Arkansas at the 19. Felix Jones.
Boy, the Wildcat is kind of the tame cat when you got number 5 limping out there. But, you know, it's been so good to them, they just can't get out of this formation. Having trouble running the ball, how do you get the ball to Felix Jones? You go to that Wildcat, you know number 1's going to be there in the alley. That's the alley, and Jones beats him.
Casey Dick in the shotgun, first down at the 19.
There's the safety right over the top, Reggie Nelson.
They fake the reverse. Casey Dick into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Cedric Washington, number 10. Injured earlier this season and not all that active.
Well thrown ball by Casey Dick. The only place it could have been, in great coverage by Ryan Smith. You got to test that hamstring if you're Arkansas, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. Ryan Smith, first year in Florida, transferred from Utah. Second down and 10. McFadden in motion. They hand it off to him. He gets a block in the corner from Marcus Monk. McFadden with the stiff arm, first and goal, Hogs.
Boy, the center, Jonathan Luigs, number 63, is the guy that pulls. That looked like another gear right there, didn't it? Watch the center right there come out and around. Luigs comes right out. He's outside, gets it outside, has a chance to get a block, but both the corner and the safety run right by him. Tough for those big guys to block the little guys in space.
The freshman Mitch Mustaine is on the field for the first time tonight. Started 8 games, won all of them. Bobbles the snap. Goes left, he's down to the 2. So Mustaine, who got many more reps with his full week of practice, was not called on last Friday against LSU, is in for the 1 play.
Yeah, he was a little nervous, don't you think?
Yes.
I don't blame him. You could tell they wanted to run the quarterback draw, and they didn't want Casey Dick running the quarterback draw. Oh, Ray McDonald limping off, I think, number 95. One of their playmakers on that defensive line. Back in the Wildcat.
And Darren McFadden is 5 yards back. He throws it. He's 6 for 6 this year for 3 touchdowns.
How about that?
6 for 6, 3 of them touchdowns. Arkansas, McFadden to Felix Jones.
Nobody covered Jones on the slot. He just reared back and threw it to him. This was a running play. Everybody else on the team thought it was a run, except for Jones and McFadden. They made eye contact. The offensive line was blocking run. They looked up and said, pass.
Jeremy Davis with the extra point.
Couple things to look for. Here's the coverage right here on the touchdown. But watch this offensive line. They think it's a run. They're going to block a run. Hey, nobody's covering to Felix Jones. I'm going to throw it to him. I can play quarterback. It's like Peyton Manning.
He played a little quarterback at Oak Grove High School, Pulaski, Oak Grove, North Little Rock. Kid's pretty good. Running and throwing. Wildcat formation. Darren McFadden has thrown the ball 6 times and completed 6. And what's the area code of his hometown?
That's that right arm, 501 in Little Rock. And I'm going to rename, I don't like this Wildcat. I'm going to call it the 501 from now on. When he's at quarterback, it's the 501 for me.
I'll listen to you.
All right.
I'll listen to you.
Because Wildcat ain't a Wildcat if number 501 ain't in there.
He's doing pretty good in 404.
That's exactly right.
Arkansas with the last 14 points. With 5 minutes to go in the first half, they were down 17-0. Here's the catch. They moved Brandon James all the way up to the 28-yard line. But good coverage by the special teams of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Remember, they gave up a 92-yard kickoff return to Trindon Holiday of LSU last week. Well, this Florida team this season, look at the fast starts, Gary, and the slow finishes.
Yeah, you know, I attribute a lot of that to inability to kick field goals. Kept teams in games, and then all of a sudden they had to, hold on at the end.
Player injured for the Florida Gators at the 37. Eric Rutledge, special teams performer, number 29.
What a great defensive scheme last time to force that interception for Arkansas. Reggie Herring, he's known for those blitzes and those fake blitzes. And he got the quarterback. Give that one, to Dacus, yes. But Reggie Herring designed that blitz, and he got him.
And Chris Leak throws the interception. It leads to, here's Chris Houston, number 2. Best defender out of Austin, LBJ High School.
Also think about this. Florida, yes, they're alive for the national championship. But Arkansas has never won the Southeastern Conference Championship. It's huge to them.
Frank Broyles brought them into the Southeast Conference in 1992 Southeastern Conference. They appeared in this game in 1995. They were thrashed by Florida. They were here again in 2002 when they were tied for the Western Division lead, and they were walloped by Georgia 30-3. Percy Harvin is behind Chris Leak. That's Billy Latsko in motion. Leak will keep it. Cuts up. Oh boy, he takes a pop up high from Jamal Anderson, number 92.
See, Antoine Robinson played it right this time. He didn't attack Leak. He took away the pitch, turned him back in to number 92. And number 92 says, oh, I get a free shot on a quarterback? Ooh, I like that.
How about the takedown of Andre Caldwell?
Absolutely. Well, he's a wide receiver. He should take him down.
2nd and 7. Caldwell comes in the slot to the near side. Keyston Moore starts right. Leak goes right. Fires it down the sidelines. Incomplete. Intended for Cornelius Ingram. John Johnson defending. It'll be 3rd and 7. I've seen Chris Leak, Gary, play since they started at LSU his freshman year. At the walkthrough yesterday, he walked over and he said, well, one more game. He was not thinking about the possibilities after this one. He had his mind set on winning the SEC championship. 3rd and 7. Got a man open, Dallas Baker, who drops it.
I'll tell you right now, Arkansas is coming. Dallas Baker is going to get this pass. Could have caught it, but it had to be perfect. He's in the slot. Excuse me, outside. He's to the outside spot. Kind of whips on Chris Houston. The ball's right there. That should have been caught, but big Antoine Robinson, number 97, I think it was, came in and said, Chris Leak, get that mental clock going because I'm coming after you all game.
One of the big plays in Florida's loss at Auburn was a block punt, Eric Wilbur. This time, very little pressure. It is a line drive punt, and Reggie Fish slips and falls. 41-yard punt. Fish trying to swim upstream. Didn't work. Well, the Arkansas Razorbacks, 3rd visit to the SEC championship game. They've yet to win. They trail by 3. CBS Sports coverage of the SEC championship game presented by Dr. Pepper is sponsored by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar, The Hartford, Toyota, and by Dr. Pepper. .10:40 remaining 3rd quarter, 17-14 Florida. Ray McDonald walked off the field a moment ago. For more on that, here's Tracy Wolfson.
That's right, guys. A really upsetting scene on the sideline as senior defensive lineman Ray McDonald, one of the leaders on this Florida defense, was hovered over in pain. He was taken into the locker room. It is a broken right arm.
Oh, boy.
You could see that he got his right arm stuck between Brandon Seiler and Mitch Mustaine, and it just got leverage on him, and it was like it just wouldn't bend that way.
Ray McDonald, who fought back from 2 torn ACLs.
Yeah, surgery on both knees this offseason.
Right. 17-14, 1st down 10. Casey Dick hands it off. Darren McFadden comes right. Well, Marcus Thomas was kicked off this team. Violation of substance abuse, and look at the difference without him, and now McDonald gone.
Yeah, and the big one, I think, is takeaways. With Thomas, they were able to put that pressure on the quarterback and force those takeaways.
So the defensive line now has Moss, Derek Harvey, Cohen, and Stephen Harris. They're the inside men. Hand off Felix Jones. Yards are really tough to gain tonight. That was McFadden, not Felix Jones. 5 instead of 25. Well, points off turnovers, Gary, tonight. Here's the block punt.
All right, these two defenses have held their own. Both defenses given up a big play. But with the turnovers, you get a short field for Chris Leak and then a short field for Darren McFadden. How about that? Chris Leak runs it. Darren McFadden throws it.
3rd and 7. Play action for Casey Dick. Deep. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Incomplete to Damon Williams. And he had some space.
That would have been a tough catch. That would have really been a tough catch. That ball was thrown just a little too far. Well, could have had it. Could have had it. Looks like they all look easy and super slow, don't they?
All right, could have or should have?
I'd say should have. Casey Dick will vote should have, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Instead, Jacob Skinner is on to punt. Brandon James is back. Takes his time, then drifts back. Here's Skinner. Oh, they come after it again. And there was, it might have been tipped. Skinner's down, there's no flag. James muffed it and then fell on it. And Skinner is asking, wait a minute.
Well, usually the punter gets the benefit of the doubt in that call. He is very vulnerable when that blocker comes and hits his down leg.
Time call.
Toyota presents Heroes of the Fall.
In the 1994 SEC Championship game, we were down by 6 with only a few minutes left in that ball game, and Coach Spurrier utilized a formation that we had run a bunch in practice but never actually used in a ball game called Emery and Henry, where we lined up a tight end and a tackle out to each side with a receiver behind those guys. The Alabama defense obviously caught off guard, threw it out to Riedel Anthony where he was able to gain some yards, and finally they threw a lateral out to me, and I was able to find Aubrey Hill down the field for a double pass there that set up the eventual game-winning touchdown the next play. To be able to play such a big role, first throwing the ball to Aubrey to set up the touchdown and then catching the game winner in a SEC championship game was certainly special for me. Florida Gators SEC champions 2 years in a row, Heroes of the Fall.
Toyota, moving forward.
$8:55 to go third quarter. Florida 17-14. Urban Meyer telling Tracy Wolfson at halftime, we've got our hands full with Arkansas. He was prescient. They do.
You bet. I mean, listen, this tough league.
Well, Arkansas trying to win the Southeastern Conference Championship for the first time. For this sonic moment, let's throw it down to Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, Vern. Back in late November 1989, Arkansas traveled to College Station for a regular season showdown with Texas A&M in the old Southwest Conference. Trailing 2017 in the fourth quarter, the Hogs put together a 12-play, 70-yard go-ahead touchdown drive. Arkansas held on for the victory to clinch the Southwest Conference title. This was the last conference championship won by the Hogs.
Now here's Houston Nutt, 9th year as the head coach. With the Arkansas Razorback, he's behind Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator. It's first down and 10. Leak 0 for 3 in this half with an interception. That's Harvin who joins him in the backfield. Oh boy, it's picked off. Here goes Antoine Robinson, and he will score. Yards with the interception. Jacob Skinner will hold. Jeremy Davis will kick. Cuts it just inside the right upright.
Remember early when I said those defensive ends had to make it hard on Chris Leak. Watch Robinson. He's not going to just come upfield and hit Chris Leak. He makes it hard. He bluffs upfield, then goes back and takes the shovel pass. You have to put that quarterback in a decision. Chris Leak is not an option quarterback. His inexperience showed a touchdown for Arkansas.
.21 unanswered by the Arkansas Razorbacks. On your left, Chris Leak, second interception of this half. On your right, Antoine Robinson, a 6'3" sophomore from Little Rock, who just rumbled 40 yards with his first career interception, and it gives Arkansas a 4-point lead. They were up, or they were down 17-0 with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Vavra with the kick, this one deep, taken at the 5 by Keyston Moore.
They're filling now. Let's go. Another look at it. A long look, like a point guard, looking a little too long at where that ball was going. And Antoine Robinson saw it, stuck out that big paw, and made the play.
Mark Bonner just made a play as well. And here comes Chris Leak. 0 for 4 with 2 of them picked off in the second half.
Urban Meyer called timeout on that play. He did not like the look, and he wanted to get out. And you can't make another mistake on your 15-yard line now.
Take a look at
Urban
it.
Meyer's right there. Here's the guy who's calling time, and he walks down and calls time, and he actually runs down to call timeout. Something in that look he did not like.
So time taken by the Florida Gators, and we'll return in a moment. Today, here on the home of Super Bowl 41, CBS Sports. 1st and 10. Florida trails by 4. 8:09 to go, third quarter. They come left, Leak. Look at this energized Arkansas defense led in that instance by Darius Vanette, number 4. It was Percy Harvin with the ball.
Reggie Herring has made a subtle change. He's gone to 2 safeties instead of 1. Man-to-man underneath, but he's giving those man guys help. He's saying, you can bite on everything because I got 2 guys back there to help you out. The man-to-man coverage for Arkansas is very aggressive because they got 2 safeties to help them out.
2nd down, 11. Here's Leak with the keeper. Nada. Third down.
See, I don't like this play calling. You got challenged. You got man-to-man coverage. You're asking your quarterback, Chris Leak, to run options and quarterback draws. He's built to throw the ball. He's a 4th-year senior. He needs to throw the ball. They'll challenge you. They're right in your face. You tell your quarterback and receivers, get open.
Dan Mullen is the offensive coordinator upstairs. Was the quarterback coach. There's Mullen in the center. Came to Florida with Urban Meyer. He was the quarterback coach there, coached Alex Smith. Young man from Ursinus College. 3rd down and 10. Leak fires it. Incomplete. 4th down. Intended for Harvin.
See how those defensive backs are gambling? They're gambling on every throw. Those receivers are going to have to be challenged for Florida. It's very difficult to throw the ball to the outside against this coverage because they know they've got help, and they got help on the sideline. You're going to have to throw it over the middle, Chris. Even though you got an interception over the middle, you're still going to have to throw it over the middle.
Eric Wilbur on to punt. Reggie Fish, 5'7", 160, a sophomore. They fake it. How about this gamble? It's Percy, it's Jamel Cornelius, and he got the 1st down. How do you do?
You had to know they had this in the pocket. There he is right there. He's going to come up. A little sneak up on the play by the punter. He was closer to the line of scrimmage, then faked the soccer kick, and then with the rugby kick pitches it. Wow. Backed up, and look what they do.
Needed 11, got 17.
Still got to move it against this defense, though. 2 safeties, man to man.
1st and 10, Harvin is the back. Here's the option, Leak.
Did it to him again. He did it to him again, and he fumbled the ball.
Yes, he did. He does recover. That's the 2nd fumble for Leak in this ball game. 2nd time he's fallen on it. This time it's Jim Tart.
If you don't run option every day in practice against these great athletes, these defensive ends at Arkansas, you're just not built to do this. Chris Leak is not used to carrying the ball. He's not an option quarterback. He's not a Pat White.
And so Tim Tebow comes into the game for the 2nd time, 2nd play tonight.
Run right.
Freshman.
Run right is the call. Which way did he run? To the defense's right. The defense's call for Arkansas when Tebow comes in the game is run right, run right. And that's where Tebow ran it. To the offense left, the Arkansas right. That was the defensive call. Boy, Reggie Herring, he's in the head of Florida right now. What are they going to come up with next? Uh-oh, Keith Jackson just limped off.
One of the senior leaders in this Arkansas defense. Florida is 1 of 7 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Dallas Baker, top of the screen. Oh, boy. Second timeout used by Urban Meyer's team. 4 minutes, 37 seconds to go in the third. We have 2 Red Lobster Scholar Athlete Awards tonight. Jonathan Louigs of Arkansas with a 2.8 grade point average, a major in transportation and logistics. And for the Florida Gators, Keyston Moore, the running back out of Arlington, with a 3.31 GPA in sports management. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown by donating $1,000 to the scholarship fund.
I was just thinking while this crowd was going crazy right here, is it louder in this stadium or in Ann Arbor, Michigan right now?
Oh, very good point.
And what do you think the people in Columbus are thinking? Who do they want to play?
3rd and 7. Here's Chris Leak. 4 years as starter. Everybody spread wide, empty backfield. Leak back. Fires it out. That's short of the first down. At the 41-yard line, the catch made by Percy Harvin. 4:25 to go in the third, and 4th and 1.
Well, I think you got to go Tebow here, don't you?
Ooh, remember the Tennessee game?
Absolutely.
They brought in the true freshman on 4th and 2, and they ran it out of the option.
4th down.
What do you think? Too early in the game to go for it?
Well, if you go for it, you're going for it with 15 in the game. You punt the ball ain't bad, right? Urban will take his time. Oh, they can't take it. Well, he's got to go for it now.
They just called their last timeout of the ball game.
You have to go for it now. A 5-yard penalty here and a punt would have been no big deal. With a timeout, you must make that timeout count now.
Florida has exhausted its supply of timeouts. And so the huddle, and it looks like we're going to see Tebow. Gotta be him.
They're going to take their 3rd timeout and punt. He's looking around. Timeout. You can see it. Remember, a 5-yard penalty and a punt is no big deal.
Well, he is chatting with his punter, Eric Wilbur. The Florida Gators jumped out to a 17-0 lead. The feature of that 17-point explosion was a blocked punt. Set up a 9-yard run. They were up 17-0 with 5 to go in the first half. Marcus Monk caught a 48-yard pass to make it 17-7 at the half. And in this third quarter, it has been, Gary, all Arkansas.
Yeah, and all the action has happened from the 40-yard line to our right.
How about this? You use your final timeout.
Well.
And you're going to punt the ball.
Or they got another fake somewhere. Great
boomer by Wilbur. Boy, oh boy, fair catch. Oh, he fumbled it. He fumbled it. Touchdown, Florida. That's what they had in mind because they called timeout.
Unbelievable mistake.
Wandy Pierre Louise from Haiti. Are you kidding?
That's as big a mental mistake as I've seen in a football game in a long time. Reggie Fish should have never backed up. Put your heels on the 10, you get the ball on the 20. Woo!
It's a basic premise of special teams. Unbelievable. Chris Hetland for the extra point. So Urban Meyer calls timeout, sends the punt unit back on. Eric Wilbur booms one, Fish fumbles. Wandy Lewis Pierre gets the touchdown.
Not only does he field the ball at the 5, he fields it over his shoulder with no blocking. 5 Florida players back there. That is a bonehead play. Even if he catches it, Vern, it's a bonehead play.
Yep. As you said, Gary, you plant your feet on the 10 and let it go.
Boy,
Oofta.
sometimes strategy doesn't mean anything.
That is almost unimaginable. Earlier today, USC lost to UCLA. In the current BCS standings, the Florida Gators were fourth. They trailed Ohio State, Southern Cal, Michigan. Let the debate continue. Here are the current BCS standings.
Yeah, we got one that doesn't need to be there anymore, huh?
Right. Here is the kick. And the bounces are going their way. Instead of going out of bounds on the one, it's a touchback. Joey Ias.
Well, it has turned into a sloppy football game. Let's be honest, okay? Some plays by Arkansas has been made. Fake punts. Bad time management by Florida. And look what's happened. Maybe the enormity of the game is just caught up with these young players.
Reggie Fish, just a sophomore. Casey Dick, the quarterback, also a sophomore. Felix Jones, a sophomore. 3-yard gain. Brandon Seiler, a junior. And finally, the noise level subsides.
Well,
that's just an unbelievable sequence.
It really is. You know, you spend, if you don't think about this, if you're a coaching staff at Arkansas and Florida, you spend 100 hours working to develop a game plan, and it turns on a play like that, maybe.
Darren McFadden in at quarterback. Hands it off to Felix Jones. Now it's the Florida Gator defense that's inspired, led by Brandon Seiler and Brian Crum, numbers 40 and 13. There's Joe Cohen, number 20. 3rd and 6.
Well, I know a lot of people laugh at me, but I don't use the word momentum because I don't believe in it. Who had momentum? Who's got momentum? What does momentum mean? I don't know if I want it if I'm Arkansas.
Line judge comes in and says timeout Arkansas. Called on the sideline.
They're trying to run the Florida game plan. It worked for Florida.
Oh, I think we all need to just take a breath. We'll be right back. Tomorrow on CBS, 60 Minutes, I beg your pardon, the man with the idea that is changing the way millions of Americans are watching movies in their own homes. That will be followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Cold Case, and Without a Trace. That's tomorrow on CBS, America's #1 network. 3rd and 6. Play fake by Casey Dick. Drills it. Caught. First down at the 32. Cedric Washington, number 10, makes the grab.
That was a great throw by Casey Dick, wasn't it? That ball had to go low, right into the numbers of the receiver. This is the Spurrier hook ball. Hook pass, go out there, run the hook. Even if you're covered, you just wall the guy off like basketball. One of the best routes in football.
First down 10 for the Razorbacks. Washington's first catch. McFadden out to the 37. Again, just to refresh your memory on his only pass catch of the night, Darren McFadden, back in the second quarter, tweaked an ankle.
Yes.
And so, what do you think, 75%?
It looks like it. You know, maybe not even that much. You know who's having a great football game? Brandon Seiler.
Yes.
Number 40. Earlier in the game, this was a quick out to the outside. Ryan Smith, does he fall? Yeah, he kind of twists that right ankle. You could see it right there. Wow.
And to underline Gary's point, Brandon Seiler has 8 tackles, number 40 for the Gators. On second down, McFadden spins down at the 37, and it's Brandon Seiler with his 9th tackle.
Well, how about these two guys? Earl Everett turned it back into Brandon Seiler. They're the 2 leading tacklers for Florida, and they've been the leading tacklers for Florida the last 2 years. That's 3 years in a row. Number 30, number 40, watch them 2 work together. 30 comes in, turns him back. Number 40 cleans it up. Beautiful linebacking play.
And a 3rd and 5. Ben Cleveland back on the field. Here's Casey Dick back to throw it. Fires it again, but it is short. Marcus Monk makes the catch. It will be 4th down and a need apparently of 2. It's Brandon Seiler again.
Yeah, he's the heart and soul of this football team. He plays with emotion. He's a smart football player. He reads run, he reads pass, and he's a great tackler. When I went to practice to watch them practice, the guy I could hear the loudest was Brandon Seiler.
Well, he wants to be an actor after all this is over.
He ain't acted today. He's the real thing.
Okay, cinch up your seatbelt. This one might be fun. That's the end of 3, Florida 24, Arkansas 21. We'll return to the Georgia Dome right after this word from your local station. And so we begin the 4th quarter from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. The biggest play thus far in a game of enormous turnarounds. The muffed punt by Reggie Fish, recovered by Wande Pierre-Louis. That put the Florida Gators back on top as we start the 4th. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson, an SEC championship and a possible berth in the BCS championship game on the line. 4th down and 2. Jacob Skinner. Brandon James is the deep man. And he lets it go. It takes a hop backwards. Well, let's see what Florida, Gary, now decides to do offensively. You didn't like the scheme here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, I don't think they should run any more options, I'll tell you that. If they do, run it with a different guy. Listen, it's hard to win a championship. It counts to win games. Style points shouldn't matter in college football. Championships should count. It's hard. Ask USC. When the money's on the line and beating good football teams, it should be hard, and it is hard. 2 good football teams are going to go down to the last few plays.
And Florida has the ball now, 1st down and 10 with a 3-point lead. Chris Leak intercepted twice in this half. Hands it off to Harbin. He comes back. Say goodbye. There are no flags. It's a touchdown, Florida. "67 yards. Percy Harbin.
It was that same misdirection play following Billy Latsko that was successful in the 1st half. Give it to your playmakers. Follow number 42.
This is the 13th game this year. It's the first time that Florida has been above 30 points.
Watch this. Coming back. Here's 42 coming back the other way. Number 4, Vanette, misses the tackle. Here comes Latsko. Cleans it out. Follow number 42. And Latsko, Vanette, overruns it. Percy Harbin. Big play, Florida.
And now, it's time for our Geico scoring recap.
Follow closely because this has been a teeter-totter. Here's Chris Hetland with a field goal. Only his 4th of the year. It comes on his birthday. 3-0. Chris Leak, 9-yard touchdown run. 10-0. Then Chris Leak Hooks up and goes deep left side. Percy Harvin, 37 yards. They beat Darius Vanette, 17-0. Then it became Arkansas's turn. Right before the half, Marcus Monk, 17-7. Third quarter dominated by the Razorbacks. McFadden to Felix Jones. Fine running back to fine running back. 21-17. Here's Antoine Robinson's interception return for a touchdown, 40 yards to make it 21-17. Reggie Fish, bad decision. Pierre Louis with the fumble recovery in the end zone. Florida back on top, and then just a moment ago, the electrifying Percy Harvin with dazzling speed goes 67 yards and gives Florida a 10-point margin at 31-21.
You okay?
I'm out of breath.
How about, what is the one guy Reggie Herring told us he fears in this football game?
Percy Harvin.
Absolutely. A guy who can make people miss one-on-one. He's done it twice. Remember, he abused number 4 on that pass, and then again on the run.
Joey Eos with the kick. Felix Jones grabs it far sideline. And he is very dangerous. Almost kept his feet. Cut down at the 37-yard line. And of course, as we have seen, Gary, this Arkansas team is a quick strike offense also.
Yeah, but one of their holsters is empty. You know, I mean, does McFadden, is that McFadden holster have any quick draw in it? I want to see. We know Monk's got it. We know Felix Jones has got it. But do they have it without number 5? There's
McFadden.
Monk. There's McFadden.
And it's first down 10. Take the draw. Casey Dick wants a bunch. Goes across to Monk at the 46-yard line.
That's beautiful.
Ryan Smith defending it, sure was.
That's beautiful. What do you do if you got very aggressive linebackers? They're making all these tackles. These guys right here, fake it at them. Look at him come up. Seiler's making all those tackles. Play action pass, square in. Terry Bradshaw's favorite route. Remember that?
I do.
The dig route.
As a matter of fact.
Every quarterback's favorite route.
First down and 10. Handoff goes to Darren McFadden. Brandon Seiler with his 10th tackle tonight. Well, when this is completed, we'll bring you Shark, followed by 48 Hours Mystery. That's tonight on CBS. Second down and 9. That was an 18-yard gain a moment ago to Monk. Now McFadden's going top of the screen. Monk is down at the bottom. Play fake again. Casey Dick looks. Oh, it's hit. And Brian Crum can't quite get there. Jarvis Moss, number 94, got a huge paw on the ball.
They call it a speed rush. And Florida's defensive line, it's been decimated with injuries, but they got a lot of them. And number 94 right there comes to the outside. Watch him spin it. Dwight Freeney type spin, and he goes around Tony Hugo, a really good football player that time.
By the way, Gary, we do have news on Ray McDonald, and it's good news. They took him back and re-examined the arm. It is not a broken arm, it's a hyperextended elbow for Ray McDonald. That word coming from Tracy Wilson. 3rd and 9. Arkansas calls timeout. That's their second. They have one remaining. Well, Brandon Seiler wants to be an actor. He's going to put that off for a few years. His team leads by 10. CBS Sports coverage of the SEC Championship game presented by Dr. Pepper is sponsored by Sonic, Geico, Wrangler, and by Dr. Pepper. And don't forget, later in the game, the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler. We've got a few possibilities, don't we? 31-21 with 12:46 to go. Earlier this evening, Southern California lost to UCLA. This is for the championship of the Southeastern Conference. Top to bottom, the best in the country. Casey Dick back. Across the middle. Crossing route dropped. Flag. Oh! Wow! Are they going to call this on Reggie Nelson, I think?
No, Dorian Monroe, number 34. They played in and out. The perfect defense against Monk. Dorian Monroe had him inside, outside. You watch. This was a shaky call, I think. Watch Monroe right here turn and look for the crossing route.
Number 34 on the
See him?
defense.
He brackets inside. Here he comes. Monk goes around him. The ball's on the way. I can't tell. It's a little far away. One more look now. There's Monroe, number 34. He's playing the square in. He's playing the square in. Come on. Come on.
At best, a nudge.
I don't think that's a good call. I do not think that's a good call. Perfect defense.
First down at the 29-yard line.
Double pass.
Yes, it is. Cedric Washington fires it in the end zone. Felix Jones backs up. Touchdown, Arkansas.
What a football game.
It'll catch your attention. Cedric Washington throws it. Felix Jones catches it. And the Razorbacks, Steve Shaw, I'm not sure what this is. The play is under review, we are being told. Steve Landis is our replay official.
Just want to see if Felix Jones got across the line before he stepped out. Stretches the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't hurt to look. That's a big play.
Sure.
Cedric Washington, the starting flanker a year ago, number 10, Vern, who's had a good football game, was a high school quarterback. Good coaching. Double pass to a guy who's used to handling the ball.
Felix Jones clearly across the plane.
I don't think he touched the white, do you?
No.
I thought there was a little space there.
Yeah, good call. And just to mention, one of our favorites is here in the booth with us tonight, Bobby Gaston, the retired supervisor of officials of the Southeastern Conference. Bobby, who is, I think, a classmate of Frank Broyles at Georgia Tech, is with us in the booth in case we make a mistake.
Oh, yeah, well, how about that penalty? It's jumped up and got Florida all year. That third down penalty, that shaky penalty in my mind. It's hard to win a championship.
Well, still looking at this. Okay, watch his right foot. There's space. There's the plane.
After review, video evidence confirms the call on the field. It was a touchdown.
And so Jeremy Davis is on to try the extra point. Casey Dick, Darren McFadden, and Cedric Washington. All three with touchdowns throws tonight. Here's Davis. Got it. 31-28. How about this call? My gosh. Is this any fun?
Nothing but.
We'll be back with more after this. 12:29 to go in the third, 31-28 after the touchdown catch from Felix Jones.
The tip-off and why I called it so quickly is look how deep Cedric is lined up on the play. Here's Felix Jones hidden, goes up the sideline, but that tipped it off. To make sure it was a lateral, he lined up deep. There's the lateral, and Cedric throws it on the run. He started out at Arkansas as a quarterback, moved to wide receiver, and this was close to being dropped. Look at from behind on our super slow Peter Costas camera right here.
Oh, boy. Peter Costas is going to love you.
Really? That's the job I want. I've always wanted the Peter Costas swing vision camera.
Now you are one. Felix Jones has caught 2 touchdown passes tonight, neither from Casey Dick. One from Derek McFadden, one from Cedric Washington. Well, we said Arkansas was a quick striking football team, but boy did they catch a break with the pass interference call on 3rd and 9. Brandon James backs up and takes it 5 yards in. 12:22 to go. And the Florida Gators getting ready to come on the field.
Well, Chris Leak, close your eyes a little bit. All right, started out great. Took it into the end zone, running it into the quarterback draw, got Percy Harvin, and in the second half, tried that crossing route. Dakins is in the way, tried the option. Big Antoine Robinson's in the way, and now he's got to deal with those 2 safeties and man-to-man coverage.
Chris Leak is 1 of 6 in this half. Lobs it, taken by Caldwell, comes around, stiff arm. No, he did not step out of bounds. He's pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That's a quick gain of 20.
Yeah, and Andre Caldwell is really coming on now. He had 8 catches against Florida State, 125, bucket and a quarter yards against Florida State. Look at him. Brothers over there and playing for the New England Patriots, and Bubba Caldwell is finally healthy. He's much more healthier now than he was halfway through this season. Number 8's in the backfield. Arkansas plays run, run, run. That's what they were told to do.
Percy Harvin is number 8. He's scored twice tonight. Here's the option again. They pitch it to Harvin. Gets a good block. And then a fine tackle by Randy Kelly keeps him from gaining the first down. He's stopped at the 49-yard line.
Get the ball in your playmaker's hands. Dan Mullen told me that he charts the touches by his playmakers. If one of his playmakers isn't getting the ball enough, he will say, we need to get it to this guy. Baker's not getting enough. Caldwell's not getting enough. Number 8, he says he never gets it enough.
Percy Harvin suffered a high ankle sprain in the first play of the second quarter against Tennessee. It's hampered him most of the year, but not tonight, certainly. Here's Leak rolling right. Fires it, he's got a man open. It's too high. Intended for Jared Faison, who blocked a punt in the first half. And Leak, wild and right.
Yeah, this was a dash. They brought out Leak on the run. The ball was up there, but look, just enough coverage from Johnson. That's what man coverage is. If you don't make a good throw, man coverage should be there to knock it down.
3rd and 2, Tim Tebow is on. Florida 1 of 8 on 3rd downs. Here's the freshman. He was held only 3 yards on 4 rushes last week by Florida State. He'll go left. He's got the first down here.
Now, that was the scouting report. Arkansas says Tebow right, Tebow right. Of course, they're making the call from the defensive perspective, and that's exactly where it went. Well blocked by Florida. I think Florida does not win 2 football games without Tim Tebow. They don't win Tennessee, and they don't win LSU. Remember that jump pass?
Yes, so a double pump from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Almost a 3-pointer. 1st and 10, Chris Leak is back on. Deep left sideline. Caught! Cornelius Ingram.
This guy's coming on too. The last 3 games, Ingram has caught 10 passes. He only made 1 catch prior to South Carolina. Man-to-man, Joe Johnson. Did he shove off? Johnson says he shoved up. No, that's no shove off. perfect. Wrong shoulder. That's a downfield shoulder throw. Throw it to the back shoulder, and that was perfectly done.
Cornelius Ingram almost walked away from this football team last year. He wasn't being used. He sought a conference with Urban Meyer to quit the team, and Vernell Brown talked him out of it. And he makes another catch down inside or near the 10-yard line.
See, the game plan is this. This is what Dan Mullen told him. Yeah, Chris Houston's a good defender, but how good is their number 4 and 5 corner? Because we think our number 4 and 5 receiver can beat their number 4 and 5 corner. And right there, you're looking at their number 4 and 5 receiver, Ingram, going against number 20, who's actually listed 3rd on the depth chart at corner.
Ingram with 5, Harvin with 5, Caldwell with 3 tonight. Here's Leak, 2nd and short with a 3-point lead. Deshaun Wynn is back on the field, and Leak keeps it. Tries to stiff arm. He's got a 1st and goal at the 5. Randy Kelly with the stop.
This is a tough offense to stop. I'll tell you, when you're throwing the ball well and you got a quarterback that will take it up like that, you can move it. I saw it all the way back when Northwestern won the Big Ten title with Zach Kustak a long time ago. The quarterback run and a good thrower, tough to stop.
And it's Tebow time again. 1st and goal. Reverse, right side, Andre Caldwell. He throws it, it's caught. Tate Casey for the touchdown. How about that? Arkansas player down at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it's Antoine Robinson, I think, too. Their playmaking defensive end.
Tebow to Caldwell, and he throws it to Tate Casey, who's only caught 6 passes, including the touchdown for the season.
Tweaked his knee or ankle as he's coming off, his right knee or right ankle. How about the package? You build on that package. Remember, Arkansas is yelling, Tebow right, Tebow right, reverse, left, pass. How many plays they got in this package?
Everyday occurrence, Andre Caldwell to Tate Casey. It started with Tim Tebow. And Robinson very slow as he limps toward the Arkansas bench. I'll give him this, Urban Meyer is stoic.
Well, and he's gone for it. How about that fake punt? He has gone for it.
Yep. Hetland's extra point is up. Perfect.
Boy, is he calmer?
It's amazing, isn't it? He was 3 for 12 in field goals until the first quarter. He made a 33-yarder, and Hetland has settled things down.
Yeah, you got receivers that can throw. We recruit receivers that can throw here in Florida, too. How about that? Both teams, same type of play.
.904 remaining in this one, 38-28. The Florida Gators ranked 4th in the BCS standings coming in. And the ballot.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is another way of looking at this. Michigan or Florida. Everybody, you can TiVo it, stop it. Here's your ballot. I've ranked, I think, from the loss all the way from most impressive win to least impressive win. Of course, Florida still has to beat Arkansas for this to happen.
Yes.
But if they do, is it Michigan or Florida? Here's another way to look at it. You make your decision. Would you go tail of the tape? Would you give the advantage to Florida or Michigan? Another way to look at it.
You're going to weigh in, I hope.
Yeah.
I thought you would. You're always shy about expressing an opinion. That one's out of bounds. Oh, dear. Joey Eos kicks it OB. Tomorrow on 60 Minutes, the man with the idea that is changing the way millions of Americans are watching movies in their own homes. That's tomorrow on 60 Minutes. So the ball comes out to the 35-yard line. 38-28. And the reason this Michigan-Florida comparison so much on all of our minds is because of the BCS standings to be released in their final form tomorrow night. 38-28, 8:55 to go. First down and 10. Flag, I think we've got a procedure call. Well, the much discussed Bowl Championship Series in 2000. You can read with us. Florida State goes to the title game ahead of Miami. 2001, 2003.
Look at this one, 2003. That's when they lost me.
Yes.
When all the people said it's Oklahoma losing, shouldn't be there, USC's number one, they went with Oklahoma. That's when they lost me in the computer.
On first down, McFadden gets 4 of the 5 back. Well, I think one phrase that we have heard, it's almost reached cliche status in the country now, style points. But I can almost, he would never say it, but I don't think he would say it. I can hear Urban Meyer thinking out loud. You want style points? Let me show you some variety.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that on the ballot.
Okay.
Remember, still a lot of football left to play in this game.
8:08 to go. Darren McFadden in the Wildcat, the 5:01.
5:01.
Here's McFadden being chased by Jarvis Moss.
Watch out.
Fires it, intercepted. Reggie Nelson. Reggie Nelson looks for blocking help. His 6th interception of the season. The first time this year Darren McFadden has not completed a pass. He was a perfect 6 for 6.
Well, I'll tell you, between Reggie Nelson and Ryan Smith, they're the top duo in college football for interceptions. That's the 13th for the duo. He's right there. Now, you can't throw the ball on this half of the field without that guy being ready to get it.
Reggie Nelson out of Melbourne, Florida. His mom, Mary Lakes, 46 years of age.
You got it.
Battling cancer. He's playing this for her as much as anybody. Billy Latsko goes left. Chris Leak comes right, pumps, looks down the left side, and he overthrows Dallas Baker. A flag is down on the far side.
You can see it, Reggie Nelson, I think the most valuable player in this conference on defense. You have to give it to Darren McFadden on offense. But when you got a safety that makes plays, whether he's hitting guys or intercepting balls, you've got a good defense.
That's a procedure call on Florida. Steve Shaw.
Illegal formation, 6 men on the line of scrimmage. On the offense, that penalty is declined. It will be 2nd down.
And so, Gary Danielson.
Well, this is what I did. I gave Michigan 2 check marks for their loss to Ohio State versus Florida's loss to Auburn. Although Auburn, pretty good team, but I'm going to be fair to Michigan. 2 of them. A check back, Notre Dame over Tennessee. And that's a pretty good one there. We'll go back to it a little later. Michigan 3, Florida nothing after 2 games.
Billy Latsko goes left. It's 2nd down and 10. They hand it off to Keyston Moore. And he is whistled down at the 46.
Now this is what Urban Meyer is talking about, style points. You're in a conference. They played 5 teams in the top 25 in defense. LSU, I got to give over Wisconsin that victory. Check mark to Florida. Arkansas versus Penn State. Florida. Georgia. Florida. Push. Florida State, Michigan State. 2 rivals. Push. South Carolina, Iowa. I have a bad year. I give it to Florida. Alabama over Indiana. Florida. You can see the score. Florida has a tougher schedule. That's style points.
Here's Chris Leak. Gets a block from the blind side. Caught by Ingram, but short of the first down at the 48. And let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks, guys. Urban Meyer was very vocal this week about the BCS and Florida's lack of style points this year. He said, here's our style. Let's see. You've got at Tennessee. You've got Kentucky at 7-4. You've got Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and Auburn, and then Tallahassee. So much for style. You want to put up that one against anybody in the country? Go ahead and do it.
Yep. Now, you remember winning ugly? I remember a team up in Ohio that won a national championship playing ugly a few years ago, don't you?
2002, I think. On 4th down, here's the punt from Wilbur. Fair catch. Reggie Fish wants to get out of the way.
Wish he'd have done that last time.
Biggest play of the game was a muffed punt by Reggie Fish, recovered in the end zone by Wandy Pierre-Louis. It was that touchdown that put Florida on top 24-21. Well, their 4 wins in the last 4 Division I opponents by a total of 21 points. I guess that, like Urban Meyer said, a win in this league is pretty...
What I don't like about style points is it only go to offense? Is there such a thing as style points for defense? There has to be.
Here's Dick handing it off to Felix Jones. Oh, boy! Ryan Smith saves a bundle at the 41-yard line.
And believe me, Arkansas fans, I'm not giving up on you. I've seen this team play. There's no backup in Arkansas. Felix Jones, Darren McFadden. If Florida beats this Arkansas team, they get a lot of credit because Arkansas, there's no backup. Ask LSU. Ask Auburn.
With that run, Felix Jones goes over 1,000 yards. First time that's been accomplished by 2 players in the history of Arkansas football. Here's Casey Dick. Incomplete. It was behind Cedric Washington. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Only the 3rd time in SEC history that a team has had 2 men over 1,000 in the same season. It was accomplished by James Brooks and Joe Cribbs at Auburn, and by Gerald Riggs Jr. and Cedric Houston at Tennessee.
Right now, Florida, though, is out-rushing Arkansas. How about that?
Amazing. McFadden now comes out to the near side as a wide receiver. Casey Dick looks left, throws right, inside run. Oh, they buried him. It'll be 3rd down. Damian Williams makes the catch. And he's hit by Derek Harvey, number 91. Third and 11.
5 minutes to go, 10-point game. Do you start to think of 4-down territory already?
Razorbacks have 1 timeout remaining. Florida's out. Here's Dick going right, dropped by Marcus Monk. It'll be 4th down.
Not a very accurate pass. Marcus Monk is 6'6". He's probably got an 8-foot wingspan. Well, not 8 foot. At least a 7-foot wingspan. How do you miss a 6'6", 7-foot? Well, I've done it before. You can do it. It's embarrassing. Oh, look, they're going to go for it.
Well, the problems continue, Gary, for Casey Dick.
Yeah.
He was 3 of 17 last week. He's 8 of 19 tonight. It's 4th down and 11. McFadden goes right. Dick looks for McFadden. Tipped. Flag is thrown. It's intercepted, but watch out. This is Ryan Smith.
Yeah, it was interference. It was interference. I think it had to be number 1, Reggie Nelson, that got the interference. He got there too soon. Even Reggie Nelson and Urban Meyer know it this time. Oh, and there's that hamstring again.
Yep.
Reggie Nelson didn't even come over to the sideline. He knew it.
Ryan Smith is the injured player. He made the interception. And, of course, in college ball, it's not a spot foul, so here's Steve Shaw.
Pass interference, early contact on the defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Well, they called it on Ryan Smith.
I didn't see who it was. I just assumed it was Reggie. Let's see who it was. It is a thrown ball to number 5. 4th down, go to number 5. Let's see it. I thought it was Reggie Nelson. No, it isn't. It's actually Monroe.
That's the second
the new
time.
guy. Remember, that's Joyner's spot, though.
Right.
Tony Joyner hurt in the first half, and you got the young player on there that's not used to playing. Little too aggressive.
Second time pass interference call has given Arkansas a new life. They scored a touchdown the last time it happened. Casey Dick, draw play. Felix Jones to the 40-yard line. Earl Everett with the tackle, number 30.
Florida has to be very careful. It's one thing for us to kind of look forward, but if you're on the field, you can't get caught looking at the clock right now. You can't say, oh, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You really have to concentrate and stay in the game.
Shark and 48 Hours Mystery will follow this on CBS.
12 men in the huddle.
Oh, boy.
Illegal participation.
Substitution infraction on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Cedric Washington was the additional player.
See, once you break the huddle with 12, it doesn't matter if you get off or not. It doesn't matter. If you break the huddle with 12, it's an automatic penalty.
And for Houston Nutt, that sets up 2nd down and 9. They'll do the reverse. McFadden back, looks for Monk. Monk is well covered, so he goes deep left side. Felix Jones, it's knocked down by Brian Crum.
How about this? 5 different players in this game have thrown touchdown passes. 5 different players. McFadden, 2nd down, big play here. They let him throw another one.
Right.
But right now, Florida's playing zone. They're staying back on everything, and they're going to say, if you complete it, you're going to complete it in front of us.
You know, back in the late 40s when I was in the 3rd grade and idolizing Doak Walker, we used to run some of these plays.
I'll bet you did.
On recess. 3rd down. Boy, they have tried everything tonight. Here's Casey Dick. Blitz. He throws it left side to McFadden. He gets up ahead of steam and is run out of bounds with a 1st down at the 27-yard line.
I'm really surprised by that defensive call for Florida. They safety blitzed Reggie Nelson on 3rd and long. Watch Reggie. Comes late. He's there too late. But why make this call? Look how late he gets there. Easy screen now, and Florida's in trouble. Very, very questionable call for the Florida defense.
Co-coordinators are Charlie Strong and Greg Madison. 1st down and 10. Michael Smith is in the ball game. They hand it off to the 25-yard line. It's Felix Jones. 5 different players, as Gary said, with their career touchdown passes. Look at that. Lake with 87, Casey Dick with 16, and then 3 1-1.
You know, Florida loves to substitute their defensive line, but they have so many injuries. They're very thin now, and they're very tired. They do not have, they're just sucking wind out there. Seiler's going to go off. And Brandon Spikes, a true freshman, is going to come on the field. Look at Jarvis Moss. He's tired, but there's no subs anymore. You've lost defensive linemen.
Marcus Thomas is gone. Tonight, Ray McDonald is gone. And it's 2nd down and 9. Casey Dick goes deep for Washington in the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Smith. Hamstring and all.
Number 14 by the duo. They came in number 1. Ryan Smith played for Urban Meyer at Utah.
Urban Meyer recalling he was a 147-pound high school football player when they made the recruiting visit. But there was something about him, he said, that he really liked.
Yeah, you know, he's comfortable with the ball in the air. That's valuable. And how about the way he's gutting out this game? You know he's not 100% with that hamstring.
Took advantage of an NCAA rule that says if you are a graduate, you can transfer. He has 2 years of eligibility left. This is one of them.
Tebow, run right.
Yes, indeed. Now they'll work on the clock. Arkansas, 1 timeout left. Ryan Smith, we mentioned his dad is a lieutenant with the Los Angeles Police Department. He told us earlier in the year he was so unhappy at Utah that he was going to transfer to Howard University.
Yep.
And then Chuck Heater, the defensive back, advised him of the new rule. He took 21 hours this summer to get his degree and thus comply with the rules and be eligible to play. Tebow.
1st down could ice it. Vern, you got to think about this. In the history of these championship games, no one has ever played their way forward. They've lost it. They've thrown it away in the Big 12. They've thrown it away in the SEC. This is the first time one of these championship games has allowed a team like Florida to possibly move into the national championship, and I don't see personally how you can keep them out. They've won the championship. Let's face it, Michigan is a second-place team.
.150 to go. Tebow, they'll work on the clock. When he was the head coach at Utah and they were undefeated, this is what Urban Meyer had to say, Gary. It's a failed system. I think it has to go to a playoff. And then earlier this year, the week before the Florida State game, if there is an Ohio State-Michigan rematch, all the presidents need to get together and immediately put together a playoff system. Urban Meyer.
I'm asking all your voters out there to look at the resume. Forget style points. Forget the eyeball test. Think about this SEC conference. Thinking about a championship team.
They've lost once. That was at Auburn. And that game turned on a very highly disputed fumble call on Chris Leak when they were at the Auburn 6-yard line. Arkansas has used their final timeout.
You know what's interesting about the Auburn game? Florida did not even give up a touchdown to Auburn. They were field goals and defensive scores and a block punt.
And it's now time for the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler with the call, Mick Huber of the Florida Radio Network.
There's the snap, and Wilbur will kick the ball. And he hits a mile-high, beautiful punt back to the 3-yard line and bobbled by Arkansas. Down in the end zone, a loose ball. Gators get it. Touchdown! 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 Oh, my! Wendy Pierre Louis! Oh, my! Touchdown!
Mick Huber.
Yeah.
He's had a great year as well. 1:02 to go, 10-point Florida lead. The Razorbacks on the verge of going 0 for 3. Had a 21-17 lead. Tonight, Shark, followed by 48 Hours Mystery.
I give it to this Arkansas team. They have played, remember, unanimous. The SEC experts, they asked 12 experts to pick the West. All 12 of them picked Auburn. SEC West is going to Arkansas. They have played well here today.
Razorbacks were a 4th place pick preseason. Here's a flag. This will be before the snap. And we'll come back. Urban Meyer!
Oh, he's not going to like that. This game's not over yet, he's going to say. Look at that. He's not ready.
He's still coaching hard.
No, he's not going to like that. He coached under Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz, you don't celebrate with 50 seconds to go.
Before the snap, false start, number 63 on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down. Please reset the clock to 1 minute, 2 seconds.
Now, you got to start thinking punt formation here. End of the play. Yeah, a little shove, no big deal.
Keith Jackson Jr.
Tebow's been hit harder than that in church.
3rd and 11. His father is an evangelist.
That's what I meant. His mom or dad.
Tim Tebow was born in the Philippines while his dad was on a mission there. Oh, there's a little late pop. Now that was extracurricular. No?
Just a guy running to make a play who tripped.
Well, now you do sound like a wishbone quarterback.
Somebody, he just got shoved and he just pushed into Tebow. No big deal. Watch the play to the right side. Gets shoved and just kind of tries not to hurt him.
All right.
This is the SEC. We don't call those.
4th and 12. Eric Wilbur will be called upon to punt. Well, 2 years at Bowling Green, 2 years at Utah, in his 2nd year now at the University of Florida. The year before, 7 and 4. Last year they were 9 and 3. They come in 11 and 1. He had that wonderful, memorable season at Utah when they went 12 and 0. chatting with him yesterday, Gary, before the walk-around began, and we were just the two of us down on the 15-yard line, and his BlackBerry.
Yep.
Well, and he looked down at it. It was a text message from his 16-year-old daughter. And he showed me the message and said, "Is that any good?" 4th down.
Arkansas needs a block punt. They're going to come after it.
They do. And Eric Wilbur gets it off. It will bounce back.
Don't down it.
Tremaine McCollum not thinking.
Stop the clock. But of course, remember the clock starts prior to the snap. This game is over. Can't score 2 times in 4 seconds.
Four seconds to go. The Florida Gators last won the SEC championship under the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier. That was in 2000. Here's the final play of this ball game, and the Florida Gators are the 2006 Southeastern Conference champions. Let's go down to Tracy, who's with Urban Meyer.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations, Coach. Does this team deserve to play for the national championship?
I'll tell you, we're going to enjoy this win. If you're asking me if we're an excellent football team, I really believe we are. We find ways to win, and that's a make of an excellent team. So I'm really proud of our guys.
Your first SEC championship since 2000. Is Florida football back?
Well, we got a long way to get it back. The 90s kind of set the standard, and we're just working our tail off to bring it back.
What are you most proud of about this team?
I'll tell you what, someday I'm going to write a book about these young guys, some of the stuff they've gone through and the transition, the issues, and to come back and play an excellent team like Arkansas. I love these guys. I'm proud of them.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Go enjoy the game.
Thanks.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Urban Meyer, what a 2-year period he's put together in Gainesville. And the player of the game, a young man named Percy Harvin, played with a high ankle sprain most of this season, was knocked unconscious last week and came back, 6 rushes for 105 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and he is our Ruby Tuesday player of the game. And so our regular season coverage of the Southeastern Conference is concluded with the Florida Gators winning it by 10. Shark and 48 Hours mystery tonight. A nod of the hat upstairs to Chuck Gardner, Jared Shadrick, and David Moulton. To the guys in the truck, Chuck Milton, Steve Milton. I'm going back a few years. Craig Silver, and happy birthday, Sellers Shy. Good night from Atlanta. I'll take a breath right now.